Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vampire the Masquerade, Silence of Shadows. We hope that you're having a good day and you're ready for some feels. Get your tissue box ready. I don't know. But thank you for joining us. We hope everyone's doing well. Tracy's ready with her blood bag.
Yes.
Early morning blood bag.
Everybody needs one in the morning.
Blood bag. We hope you all have yours ready as well. First and foremost, we're going to go over a little bit of our how you can support us, and then we'll get right into it. So if you haven't ever checked out our shows before, we have a supporter every episode usually, and today's supporter is Jofu. Thank you, Jofu, so much for supporting the show. Get some roll-ups in chat for Jofu. If you'd like to become a supporter, you can head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/rollforit, and become a legend tier or above. And not only do you get to support an episode, but you also get to partake in a privately GM'd game by one of our lovely cast members. And it's always something rotating and different every month, so you get a little fun. You get to try some new different systems. It's always good times. I believe Dot and Tracy, you did one last month, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, last month.
Like a Viking game, and did you use Cyberpunk Red? I feel like Tracy's always doing Cyberpunk Red.
Cyberpunk?
I literally am always playing Cyberpunk Red. If I'm not playing VTM, I'm playing Cyberpunk Red.
Yeah, so you never know who's gonna GM. You never know what's gonna be up there. So definitely come join us on that part. I don't know if we have any spots open. There might be a couple. And of course, we have all kinds of other things over on our Patreon. So if you support us, you're also getting some fun things in return. We have our Ascension character sheets for Half Grim High Climber and the Librarian, as well as our monthly recap for January. So if you're interested in, the inner workings of how Roll For It works, and you're curious about what we're doing in the future, definitely go check that out. We had we were in a mood in the last one, so it's a good time. We went on a lot of tangents, so definitely go check that out and have a good time. And of course, there's a whole bunch of other great things over there. We also have our GM interview with Sheepdog about The Last Stitch for season 1. So definitely, if you have any questions about that, or if you're curious about what's up for season 2, definitely go ask him some questions. Or if you just want to know what his favorite food is, I don't know, you can ask him all kinds of questions. Just go pop them in there. We've also done a few of those interviews. We've done an interview with Mathis before, if you want to check out the old one of that and kind of see how the vibe goes. But yeah, go check it out, and we're excited to see what questions y'all have, and then we'll be doing the interview with him. And of course, Patreon is not the only way to support us and get rewards. You can also support us here on Twitch, where you get access to our videos early, as well as emotes. You can also get those emotes through being a YouTube member, and you get the emotes as well. And if you are a patron, a Twitch subscriber, or a YouTube member, you get access to our private Discord, where you can talk to the cast. I saw Dot in there a lot this past week, chatting. So definitely head in over there and chat with folks. What were you gonna say, Matt?
I read. I just don't say anything. I lurk. I'm reading.
You post in there
just
sometimes.
the observer.
Very occasionally, I'll post something.
Mathis'
I'll never
post
follow up.
Are the eyes. We just get the eyes.
Yeah, sometimes I get.
Mathis.
Nice. I'm just watching. That's
He
it.
is the all-seeing
Or
eye.
if it's something related to like something that you're doing on your end, I have seen you like pop in there.
Yeah, clarifications if there's any confusion. I try to make sure people aren't confused by a rules call. So that I try to interact when I can. Otherwise,
he doesn't want to influence what you're thinking. He's got the roll evil look.
Fair.
Much.
Tracy I always see her posting in there, and Bub gets in there and clarifies things too. So definitely come hang out and chat with us.
I rabble rouse that conspiracy board. People out there like, look at this thread connecting to this one, and I'm
Bob
like,
comes through with a
hold on
pair
now.
of scissors.
That's right. Let's sever
I'm just
this.
in the back drinking while you're all talking.
Yeah, exactly. So, beyond those ways, you can also, donate right now and tip during the live show, and I will read those off at the end. You can even tell me if there's a voice you want me to use. I don't know. Sometimes people have fun with that. Not everybody can support us in a monetary means, and that is 100% okay. We appreciate you guys just being here. Take care of yourselves first and foremost. That is the most important thing. Do not overextend yourself. There's a lot of free ways to support us. If you're watching right now, you're supporting us. That is the best way you can support us, and getting other people to come watch us. That is massive. And you can watch us over on YouTube. You can subscribe, favorite, like, follow, all of those things. Retweet. comment, leave replies to our social media. All of those things help in the great algorithm that is the internet. Making sure that other people and new folks get to come see what amazing stories we're telling. And, that's the main thing here is we want to have fun and we want to tell great stories and, show new characters. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around because our storyteller Mathis Games is going to take it over.
I am. All your smiles, get them out now. We're done being happy. Oh, so sad.
You can't make me.
You're right, I can't, but I can try. All right, before we set up, don't worry, everybody. This is my last time in this temporary setup, so appreciate everybody just kind of dealing with this weird audio thing. I'll be in my new place next week, and my audio should be at least much, much, much better. So, again, thank you, chat, for just bearing with me the past couple of weeks. That being said, I know we had a bit of a little adventure last week, but we're going to rewind the clock and reset a scene that we left off on that we didn't get the closure that we really wanted as time was running short and cutting there felt ideal. When the camera fades back in, it is awkward, deathly silence. A pin could drop in here and it would echo in the empty halls of your movie theater as 1 a.m. rounds the clock and a car rolls by. You can hear the tires splashing through a puddle just outside your door. Standing in the semicircle is Dakota, Ava, and Ollie, towering over all of them, and in his arms cradled gently is a limp body hanging there, head over the arms and head over Ollie's arms and the arms splayed out on the side. There was a moment where maybe there was a sound made as though somebody was going to say something, but then there truly was a silence. Ollie laid him on the ground, and that's where we left the scene. And that's where I'd like to pick back up, if everybody be okay with that. I would like to finish that out, even if it only lasts a few minutes. I'd like to see what the immediate time, maybe immediate minutes were afterward. So from there, as Ollie stands from laying him on the ground, I imagine all three of you are looking down at the body, not necessarily at each other. What is everybody's, we know Ollie probably looks a mix of angry, furious, sad, in the throes of misery, and stoic while you can see him trying to hold it all in. But I am curious what Dakota and Ava look like as the revelation as to what is before you is revealed.
I think just shocked. Ava was not expecting Ollie to return in this manner, with his son in his arms, dead. So Ava just kind of like, in a shocked state, just stares down at the body and just looks at it, kind of just like looks and thinks like, is he really dead? Because with us, sometimes you just never know. But she kind of stares for a few moments and gets the realization that yes, he really is gone.
And now Dakota, curious, is Dakota really like looking down? Is she like also kind of taking it in? What is Dakota's posture and her stance during this?
Yeah, I imagine she hides under the hood quite a bit. She's also beat up, like real beat up. Yeah. Because this is fresh, she's fresh out of that car accident and everything that's gone down. So, and she doesn't want Ollie to know that. So you
just kind of have your coat probably.
Yeah, everything's like kind of nice and bundled and kind of tight, and she keeps the hood down. But if you could see her face, there's probably an extreme level of guilt based on the last conversation she had with Ollie about Rowan being a massive problem.
The camera would probably swoop under the hood, and even it's almost as though like Dakota knows there's these prying eyes from this other place looking, because even as the camera tries to catch her face, she even pulls her hood tighter and ducks down from the camera, trying to avoid whoever's gaze.
She also has the guilt of killing that man tonight for no reason.
Mm-hmm. How long would the silence last, and who would be the first to say something or take an action if no words are said?
Depending on how long it lingers, Ollie might kind of have, I don't want to say necessarily like a revelation as much as he would just sort of snap to and regather his focus. There's so much like playing back through his mind. And I think that he would realize that this is more than just a masquerade breach waiting to happen, more than just a law break inside of the Camarilla period. This could certainly lead to his death. And as much as he needs to mourn, he also needs to conceal this. So you probably see his almost tired eyes just panning the room, and likely draws up his shoulder to try to like mop away any of it, like the blood tears. Mm-hmm. Before he says, I gotta do something with him.
Ava just nods at first. She doesn't really say anything. Then she kind of walks closer to Ollie and the body, and I can help. We can take him somewhere. Well, we could keep him here.
No, it's not right. I don't even know.
Give him a proper burial.
Where do I bury him? Ollie has like a moment, and he just nods. I think I know where. I'm probably going to be indisposed. But I think I'm going to go bury him next to my mom.
There's that uneasy silence that falls over the room, the subtle nods amongst the two ladies, and does Ollie then kind of, with purpose, take his boy from the ground and leave?
Yeah, I think so. I think he does. I think he's probably going to gather up everything that he might need, and just have a long night of digging a grave.
And that's what we see. Ollie disappears for a while, leaving Dakota and Ava in the lobby before he reappears with the tools he was scouring for downstairs, and or amongst the tools upstairs and the like, and takes his boy and silently, and as I said, with purpose, leaves. We hard cut to a graveyard. We watch as hours pass. We can see the silhouette of Ollie digging away, occasionally even maybe struggling from breaking down. And as the hours pass and the dawn is mere moments or minutes away, we watch as the boy is lowered into the grave very quietly. I imagine Ollie goes into the grave with him, standing in and gently lowering him, closing his eyes. Does Ollie say a prayer or anything?
No, I don't think so. Faith was lost on Ollie a long time ago.
Of course. As he stands up and pushes the dirt in and covers the grave, there's no way you'll find time to return to a haven tonight without the sun dusting you beforehand. The sewers are nearby, however, and there's plenty of little nooks and crannies within the sewers that Nos have created over the years that you could find a small safe haven temporarily. You could even find a way into the labyrinth with your dot. It'll give you a safe haven and a way to navigate it tonight. Where would Ollie like to go?
Yeah, I think Ollie would probably just tuck away into the labyrinth.
Spend a few days in it probably as well.
Yeah, just kind of sounding out and feeling how he feels, just getting it out.
While we won't follow Ollie the entire time, the camera will catch glimpses of him throughout his days of mourning and grieving. What does Ollie look like in moments like this? In his unlife, in his grieving? When we catch him, are there moments of fury where we see him taking out hunks of brick wall in just absolute anger as they dust, times where he collapses. What do we see the stages of Ollie's grief look like?
Probably a toss-up between extreme guilt of just like tears, just leading into just fury into various old Chicago walls.
And we can see the times where your fist and arm just collide through the brittle brick and concrete of the old Chicago, and as it dusts away, hunks of brick goes flying and hitting other pieces of concrete and bouncing back. And the shouts and screams of Ollie within the sewers over the course of these few days, echoing and returning nothing. Ollie's not stupid. He's certainly being watched. You're not being quiet, and within the labyrinth, you never know who knows their way around. But it's not like you're giving anybody any important information. You're a kindred on the verge of a frenzy at all times. Anybody who crossed your path and said the wrong word or provoked you or the wrong way could send you into a fury frenzy, and it would be the end of their own life. Anybody who hears you steers clear. Eventually that fugue state, those days, come to an end, not because the feeling stops, because Ollie comes to the realization that the feelings are not stopping. And now nights have passed. You've probably even wandered throughout days. The kindred can do so as long as they're protected from the sun. It just costs you effort and energy and vitae. But the labyrinth also doesn't make entire sense. You don't know how long you've been down here, as it's been winding and you've been only following the graffiti symbols that you're familiar with. But it's at this point that you come across an exit, eventually a little scurrying of a place that'd be a relative normal fit for most kindred, but Ollie has to kind of really shoulder his way through. And he finds his way back in the New York sewers, and you can see the night sky cracking through one of the, near a corner of one of the drains that lead down here. You're not sure how long you've been down here. And again, it's not that you are suddenly snap out of your grief, but to get an idea of how long you've been gone, Ollie has to step out of the labyrinth and figure things out. And a little bit of looking, you've probably been down there since the night of the graveyard to hear about 3 or 4 days. Chicago, if I said New York, my apologies.
I think he is probably going to check in. And I think first he'll probably try to find Dakota. He doesn't know how that night went.
So you head to the boat. First places you go. Now, since then, the last week's episode has occurred, so everybody knows where we're at. Okay. And heading to Dakota's boat early on. Dakota, I need a rouse check from you to awaken, and then another rouse check to heal.
Oh, that's right. I still have some healing to do.
Yep.
Hungry am I? Okay. All right, everybody. We're gonna be fine. Okay, success. So don't get aroused to wake.
Okay.
And I'm going to arouse to heal. Ooh, not as great. Okay, 3 hunger. I am all but a single box from full health, so I'm pretty close.
Okay, are you at just superficial?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not super wounded any longer. You just internal wounds that you could even heal again if you wanted to rouse, but 3 hunger puts you at a point where, you know, putting yourself at 4 means feeding could risk a hunger frenzy.
Oh.
But as you arrive, as Dakota, as you kind of rouse for the night and you kind of snap and crack your neck and you can feel some of the bones kind of snap back into place. Ollie, how would you bang on the boat, or would you just kind of climb on top?
Climb. I think it's just climbing up.
Are you doing it stealthily, or do you not hide your footsteps?
There's not any stealth to it. If there was ever a state of being out of fucks to give, Ollie is at that point.
Is out of fucks? Okay.
Honestly, Dakota, as you wake, and like I said, as you crack your neck and you can feel your body kind of resetting some of its loose and more fractured bones, you actually just hear like a rhythmic thud, thud, thud of a climb, followed by 2 boom, boom, heavy footsteps, and then I imagine silence as he waits.
Okay. I imagine the dogs are not happy. So
they jump to alert. One immediately starts a low growl. Yeah, exactly. They stay quiet.
And I creak the lid open and look around, because the last time I heard thud, thud, thud on my boat, it was not Ollie.
No, and as soon as you lift the hatch and you kind of slowly lift it, you see immediately a familiar boots that lead up to the dress wear that Ollie is known to wear nowadays.
Flop the lid open. Ollie.
Hey, Red.
This seems quaint, but are you okay?
New normal. We're redefining the edges, but yeah, I think it'll be all right.
Okay. You don't ever come to the boat? Are you okay?
I don't really know exactly how long has passed since you last saw me. I just spent all of however much time that is in the labyrinth.
Well, it's been what, Mathis, 5 days?
4 here on no, it's been 4.
4 days.
Mhm.
About 4 nights.
Okay, that sort of tracks. I don't know if I really rested much, but when I finally kind of shook what I was feeling, the world doesn't stop turning, you know. I had to check on the things that matter most, and you went out of your way, and I never got to find out what happened. How did you do that night? Were you all right?
I'm fine. I was fine. There were some casualties. And, I got him. And I cleaned up the car accident with my contact, so looks like it was pretty normal. As for the other Rowan, well, we had him. For a while, for a few days.
That's new information, Ollie. That's not what he knows comes to happen after what Matthews expressed to him. You
may have been incorrect.
So, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, you know, our expectation of sticks and twigs was not met. And he spent days yelling in the cell at the bottom of the movie theater until eventually a fae fucking Van Dammed our door in and waltzed into the basement, destroyed my cell, and took him. Oh, and then Matthew showed up, fashionably late, to the party, and was like, "Hey, is somebody yelling for help?" And we're like, "Too late. That person's already been helped by the fae who also showed up to take them."
Are you saying the Rowan? That Rowan's not dead?
He is not dead. He is currently fae-napped.
Like, he kind of looks at you to wait for the joke.
I'm dead ass serious. Look, for a while. Okay. Yes, he was with us. He was strangely enough didn't really eat or drink or just yelled. He just yelled for days. And then the fae said something about him not belonging to anyone or not belonging to her, but for whatever reason, she still felt like she needed to, like,
What about Matthew? What did Matthew say?
not a whole lot. He's rude as fuck. He walked up in here and then was like, "Does somebody need help?" "No, there's nobody here." He asked if it was the Rowan. We said it was, and then we told him that this redhead fae walked through the door and took him, and he was like, "That's not good. Okay, bye." And then he tried to waltz out, and we were like, "Wait a second, we have questions." And he didn't really have a lot of answers.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, she knocked a hole through a concrete wall into another fucking dimension and then closed it up behind her.
Then what if Rowan's still alive, then what did I just bury?
I don't know. Rowan? They're both part of him, right?
Oh my God, I gotta talk to Matthew. Like that doesn't make sense.
I told him he should come find you.
What did he say?
Okay.
All right.
After he found, what did he say, Mathis? After he found Matthew, what did he say?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly the information he told you and what was after show information. So there, basically, what the clarification was, the magic he used to create Rowan was a rip of the magic that created him, basically from her.
Right.
And he's basically using her magics to create him, which means he was inherently tied to her as well as being tied to him. That's why the call called her. And he showed up too, but he was a little late because he doesn't have the magic.
Matthew's been siphoning fucking magic from this red-headed ginger fae, okay? And he used that siphon magic to make or rip Rowan asunder. And now we have two of them. And the one of them that she came back to claim, she kept saying it was hers. Well, she felt like it was hers because you used her magic that was filtered through Rowan. It's a hot telephone mess.
Did Matthew look sick?
No.
He looked rough. No, he looked rough.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he got the dirty beat up clothes, the pale look, he was not looking too hot.
You mean the one I kidnapped?
Did you say Matthew or Rowan? Sorry.
Matthew.
Oh, Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew looked sick.
Yeah, he looked, well, yeah, he looked pretty shitty.
Well, Matthew will find me. If he knows how to get into the theater, then he should be able to find me pretty quickly.
I told him, lights out pub.
Okay.
I hope that was okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect.
Okay. So, other than that,
What did that night cost you?
nothing.
It didn't raise any alarms or nobody got into any trouble. You said there was an accident.
Yeah, a car accident. That was fun. They were nice people. They were.
Can I tell that she's a little she's not quite being herself, or that she might be trying to hide something?
You probably can tell that. I mean, you can roll if you want to, but
But I mean, if you're not hiding it, there's no need to roll.
we know that I can't hide it very well.
Dakota is not a good liar.
Look, I know that you're not giving me the whole truth, and that's all right. I don't need you to. Just
It's cleaned up. Don't worry about it.
nobody stuck their neck out for me like you have.
Maybe. But I always stick my neck out for the coterie.
Yeah, kinda. But for me, I don't have too many people that do that. Yeah,
Yeah, well.
there've been many times that even Ava has made sure that hers has been met before she met Ollie's. And so you have made sure that mine has been got every time. And I can't say thank you enough. And you're not the kind to do boons or favors. You just do it out of the kindness of your heart and because you care. So I'm not real good at wording, Dakota. So you just got to tell me.
I don't word either. Well,
I know. You just got to tell me. Sometimes just close your eyes and tell me what you need so I can be that or there or anything.
I don't actually need anything. I don't think I need anything. Plus, when have I ever hidden if I needed something? I'm pretty straightforward about that, but
When have you ever hidden things? I mean, we've been around each other the last 15 years.
okay, fine. I guess what I'm saying is, it was messy. I am a little flustered that I had to kill his dad. He was a nice man. He didn't fucking deserve that. They just wanted to help me.
Yeah. Honestly, probably couldn't have asked for better parents.
No. Now that poor woman's all alone. I wanted
People
you to
bounce
meet him.
back.
Yeah. They had a ward around the house.
I had my own run-in with one of those.
Yeah.
He like pulls off the gloves and he shows you his hands, one of which was already messed up, but now he's got noticeable damage on his hands. It's aggravated from trying to enter into a hospital that was also warded.
Well. Yeah. Though I don't know that they have much knowledge of what was going on. They seemed really fucking normal.
Oh, and just in case you didn't know, don't stumble around downtown, particularly the hospital, uninvited, because the prince doesn't fuck around with wards. They're real intense.
Which hospital?
I give her the name of the
The name
hospital.
of the hospital?
Yeah.
Bella
Major
owns the
Chicago Hospital.
I watched him go in. I tried to go in, the way that I do. And I was like stepping into holy fire. It was awful.
He walked into that hospital, no problem.
He was wheeled in.
Ah.
But like father, like son, he went for the easiest out and exit, and I saw it coming from a mile away. I waited at the place where I thought there'd be the least cameras, the least eyes. And sure enough, he Spider-Maned his ass out the window. And he made a beeline for the woods. And it was fast. He was so fast. He reminded me of being a kid again. But I was just so angry. The night was just so fucking messy. But, no matter what they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink, right? And I don't know, something clicked in me. And I got him. I knocked him to the ground, and I was trying to stop him from moving, and I couldn't stop myself. Something broke in his neck. I don't know if it was a bone or... I don't know. But I knew in that moment I had two options. All I could do was I had to turn him or lose him forever. And I couldn't fathom seeing him like this, like us. Because he wouldn't make it. He would loathe what he is, and he would hate me even more. So, I did what I thought was right. I let him go. Because he was more than just a problem. He was a thorn in everyone's side. And it was only a matter of time before he got to you. Because he already got to Ava's dad. He was pulling strings. Try to mess with everyone. And I really don't know why. But, and Ollie like wipes his eyes, but what's done is done, and he's a thorn no more.
I guess. He was hurting, a lot. I don't know if it's of consolation or not. But he's not hurting anymore.
Yeah, I swallowed that pain.
Maybe. I don't know, he believed in all that God shit, right? heaven and ever after and holy lights and...
When I find her, Dakota, I'm gonna make sure she dies. This asshole who took my son and turned him into a tool, an instrument. I don't know when I'll see her, and I don't know what kind of faith she has. But for the first time, I'll just let it take me. Just like you suggested so long ago, like Boss even said I should probably consider, but I'll just let loose the floodgates. I've never been so angry at a person I've never met before in my life.
Yeah, she's kind of a bitch.
Well, you know my intentions. If she ever rears her face, which, well, I have a feeling she will be.
Yeah, we've messed with her twice now.
Ava told you, Dakota, last week that Rowan said that he was going to be bringing Hellfire down.
Oh, yeah.
That she was going to be bringing Hellfire down, rather.
Yeah, I have a feeling that she's got big plans for us.
Yes, same. I got a cake baked with her name on it.
Well, there's another piece of consolation in all of this. Now the beast can just wait. Till you have something to let it loose on.
Yeah, if you make it into the labyrinth at all, don't be surprised if there is a bit of reconstruction going on.
Oh no. Did you tear it down?
Not the whole thing, but I can imagine that there's at least a city block's worth of walls that are just probably destroyed.
Do you feel better?
No, I just feel focused. I'm still hurt, but I feel focused.
Hey, I used to punch things a lot. Now I punch things and it doesn't help any. I take all that focus and I sit around and meditate.
I used to have a gym for that. You know, that's what I used to do. I used to box. And, man, I just feel like I haven't carved out a space in a while.
You know, we have like half a train yard, right?
Do we
How
still
about
have
this?
that?
Yeah. Just on the south corner. A bit of it, anyways, falls in our area. If you ever take the suit off and want to punch something, train cars are really good.
Hey, let me ask you something. Something that kind of hit my mind while I was down there.
Okay.
What do you do when it's all over? When, you know, the sandwich is gone? What's next for Dakota?
I don't know.
You see yourself part of the cam?
I don't know that anymore either. I don't see myself as not. Right now I just want to see Bella and Hodges burn.
I am right there with you.
I don't know. I have to... I guess I have to hit up the Painted Lady every night this week.
Yeah.
Supposedly McTavish is coming around. And I have a favor to ask.
Yeah, fuck that guy too. Every time I hear his name, it's just bad.
Yeah, Yeah, but... For whatever reason, he's strolled into town and has taken over the Anarch flag. And since Bella doesn't want to give me what I want, I'm gonna go to somebody else to get it.
I think I'm gonna break away from the cam, Dakota. I've spent a while thinking about it, and I think I need to get away from it. I don't want to hide from much more of the world than I already am, but I'm tired.
Hear that?
And I don't buy into the whole boss bullshit. She's pretty, but that's really as far as her words go.
She's all right.
And the Anarchs are just babies. Oh my God, they're just babies.
They are babies. Big Irish babies like McTavish, but they are a good distraction. Some days I wonder if we'll ever not be able to be Cam. At least not until Bella's gone. She fucking manipulated us into being her puppets, and now we're kind of stuck on the end of a string. We know too much, Ollie.
Yeah, we're kind of too important for her to just let go right now. I get that.
So you know what? Once Bella's gone, fuck all.
Yeah, I think I'm glad that like we have the theater and the space, but I think I need my own focus point where I can call all the shots. You know, I can't even remember her name. She's got the tower with a...
Oh yeah, Vanessa.
Yeah, Vanessa. You know, if she just wasn't... Well, in hindsight, I mean, if she wasn't so goddamn good at surviving, she'd probably be super useful and honestly amazing person, but she's just playing a dangerous field, and she's on the wrong side, I think.
So you don't want to stand on any side. You think they're going to just let you have your own space?
I think...
We're so close. They could take everything from you.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I've heard a lot of people talk about being an autarchus. And how they can operate. They sort of operate as an in-between. A bit of a fence sitter. Vanessa's been an autarchus for how long? Since way before us. Nobody goes and messes with her, even after all of this shit that's gone down. Nobody messes with her.
But I imagine that came at a big price tag.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about that. But there has to be some place that we can all just let loose, right? Like at the pub, everybody can come and have a drink, but I know people disrespect that. They come in, they wave guns, they do shady dealings. I think that's the nature of it, but I'll put in the legwork and I'll make a space that it doesn't have to be that way. Drinks are different, but respecting politics and leaving your powers at the door, that's a must. I need a place where anyone can come. You, me, hell, even the lupine.
That'll be a day. But a day I'd like to see.
I'm ready for it. I don't feel like I've been this focused in a while. I feel still sort of foggy, but it feels like a torch in the night. Like there's a guiding light or a lantern, and I kind of have a goal. So yeah.
Do it. Fuck it. It's not like Bella gives us any attention anyway. She probably won't even notice if you were like, fuck the camp. Go be independent, right? Isn't that what, was Crowley independent?
I don't know. I think he was just nomadic. Crowley was lost. That guy was so lost.
I thought, especially about this whole Layla thing. Since you're so dead passionate on killing her, which she fucking deserves. we should, try. At least to save Crowley's kid.
Oh, God. Oh, my God, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Sometimes not everything's lost. Ending is a beginning or some shit like that, right?
She's probably already too deep, but not as deep as Rowan was.
Maybe.
Still enough to get out.
But enough to get out. Or at least to kill the person that's brainwashing all these poor kids.
All right, I need to count funds, and I need to run some numbers. I gotta make sure that, one, I can start some groundwork on my own point of Elysium, my Autarchus breeding grounds of sorts, stomping grounds. And then I need to make sure that I've got enough sitting in the bank to help pay for this kid's therapy, because she's gonna need a lot of it.
Oliver Hopkins, always the businessman.
Business never stops. I can't.
I never thought you would.
All the while, Ava's had a night of her own happening during this conversation. You spend most of your nights, Ava, sleeping within the Ivory Tower. It's kind of where they expect you. It helps not raise too many suspicions, of course. And let's be real, the Ivory Tower, beyond the obvious, is the safest place in the city. And tonight, you make your way to the movie theater. But as you're making your way out the lobby, you hear the familiar voice of, what's her name?
Katie?
Damn right. Shout for Miss Heloise from behind you.
Oh, Katie. Good to see you.
As you turn and smile and say, Katie, good to see you, and make your way to the desk, your high heels clacking on the tile floor, Katie leans over. I got a phone up to her ear, and she kind of gives you a finger and makes a couple of nods. And then as you approach, just when you would be in earshot, she hangs the phone up and looks to you with a smile. Mistress Bella would like to see you.
Oh, another meeting with our prince. So soon after the last time I saw her.
She gives you a very warm smile. You must have impressed her then. You know the way to go. Enjoy your evening, Miss Heloise. And she smiles.
Of course. Thank you.
And Ava makes her way to the elevator, I presume.
God, yeah.
And as you stroll down the hall with the elevators on your left and right until you reach the only one that goes to the 50th floor at the very end, you head inside, press the button, and are risen from ground floor over the next couple of minutes to the 50th floor as the golden doors roll open and private security greets you. You are, as always, and I don't say it every time, but you are patted down, weapons removed, and the like. And then the double doors swing open, and Bella is not speaking to anyone at this particular time. She's actually sitting on her desk with her legs crossed and a glass of wine in her hand. This particular evening, a deep, rich blue dress that droops just perfectly down her chest, and it has that long cut back all the way to the small of her back. There's a little bit of a glint in the dress as the light catches it. And as you walk in and the doors are shut behind you, she places the glass poignantly down on her grand oak desk, slides off as her feet hit the a marble floor, and she strides towards you with a pleasant, warm smile. Can I get a wits awareness roll from you, please, Ava?
As always.
As always.
Every time I visit Bella, wits awareness.
Now that the coterie knows what they're looking for to kind of make assumptions, I need you to make
3 successes.
3 successes?
Yep.
As she strides and kind of slips off the table and makes her way off of you, you do catch the corner of your eye, her shadow, reacting almost before her. You see the shadow move, and then she moves like less than a second afterward. It's really hard to see, but you know what to look for, and you look for it exclusively every time you meet with Bella from this point on. Again, her smile is wide, and this time she actually does stride by an empty wine glass and grab it with a canister. What do you call it? Not a canister, but like one of those glass wine holder things.
Decanter?
Decanter, that's the word I'm looking for. A decanter of a thick red liquid that she pours. And as she walks over to you and she swirls it and takes a deep breath, she then hands it over to you.
Ava will
23
take.
years old. She smiles. 23 years old, and they were in the highest form of pleasure when it was taken.
Oh, thank you.
And do you take a sip?
Oh, she'll take a sip.
It is a rich flavor as the blood courses from the tip of your tongue and coat it all the way to the back of your tongue. It's got this almost dominating flavor up front. And as it falls in the back of your throat and you swallow it, the aftertaste lingers just enough and really does kind of bring this warm sensation to the inside of your mouth a little bit, almost as though blood itself is coursing through your body once more.
You do have good taste, Bella.
I always have. And she smiles. I always have. My dear Ava, I would love to have a long, poignant conversation with you of many of the philosophical things that we've discussed in the past. But in fact, I have a job for you, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, a job. Of course.
An escort job, if you don't mind as well. Mr. Vitale, I would like him to be taken somewhere.
Where would he like to be taken?
I would like you to take him to Madison for me.
To Madison?
Yes, please, tonight.
Of course. Is there somewhere specific? It's such a small, insignificant
You'll know when you
town.
get. She smiles. You'll know when you get close where to go. Not something to concern yourself with at the moment.
Of course. Sure. I'd be happy to take him to Madison. I know.
She claps her hands together. Fantastic. I'm so pleased to hear that. He really enjoyed his time with you last time.
That's good. Ava's like a little, you can tell she's a little like flustered in her conversation, but not like overly, just like a little confused and flustered. But she agrees and, takes another sip of the drink. Is there anything else that he needs? Is just like staying there and then we come back together, or is he going to be there for a while?
She actually taps her chin with her long red fingernail with a quirky smile, and she goes, I don't know, actually. I suppose it'll depend on when you get there. He'll let you know.
Okay, he's not a man of many words, but I suppose he will then.
He does like to keep to himself. Meet back here, Ivory Tower, back in the Ivory Tower in about 2 hours' time. He'll meet you out front.
Of course.
Thank you so much again, Miss Heloise. I cannot thank you enough for your service. And she smiles and she gestures. You may finish. Please finish your drink. Like I said, you have 2 hours. She walks over to hers. I'm going to finish mine before I depart.
Okay. Ava will hang out, for like a few minutes, and just enjoy herself for a few minutes with Bella, and then she will make her way out.
Are you trying to keep things looking as normal as possible?
Keep things being kind of normal. She'll do like some small talk and ask how everything's going and with the change.
But how's Ava feeling on the inside?
Inside, she's very nervous. So
manipulation subterfuge as you try to hold it together.
It's fair. It's a little nerve-wracking. Let's see. 4 successes.
Conversation seems to carry on without much. You don't catch any suspicious one-liners from her or any conversation that seems to suggest that she may suspect that you may be nervous or anything of the like. And as the conversation finishes and you finish imbibing, were you hungry at all?
Well, I didn't rouse for tonight.
Rouse, please.
Because that will determine. I do not gain a hunger, so I'm actually not very hungry.
You drank for pleasure and no worries. It doesn't sate that everlasting like nag in the back of your throat, but you're used to it at this point. And you make your way out. Where would you go with 2 hours to kill? I imagine there's a couple places you might want to go.
I'm gonna go to the theater.
Okay. So you make your way to the theater, and you all kind of arrive around the same time as you were all having your discussions on the boat. She was having her meeting with Bella, having conversation and drinking. We'll say that Dakota and Ollie arrive first, and Ava arrives mere minutes after you all arrive.
I imagine you hear me in the basement, like, look at what she fucking did to my cell. I'm like showing Ollie the damage.
Ava, you hear that as you walk in. Ollie, what you actually see is the door of the cell is on the ground, broken and rusted, like it's completely aged and completely differently from the rest of the cell. And then in the cell itself, there's a giant kind of circular concrete of the wall that just collapsed away, and you simply just see the dirt that would be there. And that's it. That's all that's there.
I loved this cell.
It looks. You said it looks aged.
The door itself, like it looks like it was rusted and aged. That's how it kind of collapsed.
She turned it to rust in front of my eyes. She just touched it and it.
You hear the high heels of Ava making her way down the stairs at this point.
No.
Hello?
You see Ollie. Ollie for the first time in days.
Ava probably wasn't actually expecting Ollie, so she looks a little surprised. Oh, hey, Ollie.
Hey, Ava.
I see Dakota has brought you up to speed on our visit from the other day.
Yeah. Everything's been brought to the forefront, and I didn't realize that he was down here. I also didn't realize that this had happened. I'm sorry it's been so long gone.
It's no worries at all. It's fine. We thought we had it handled, but then things happened. Look, I kind of have some urgent news that I need to share with you guys. I just got back from a meeting with Bella to do a job for her.
Okay.
She wants me to escort Mr. Vitale to Madison.
Oh, that can't mean anything good.
So, speaking of, in this room, speaking of Faye, probably has something to do with that. Yeah, it's a little concerning.
Okay, why would she take him to Madison? Has she taken him to Madison before?
Not that I don't know. I mean, all we know is that she is making dealings with this red-headed fae that we all have loved so much and have met one too many times now.
Okay, they said Vitale's basically just a big hole, right? That's what we said, like the doorway. She uses him to move things from one side to the other.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Do we have that right, Mathis?
What? I apologize.
That Vitale's basically a doorway or like a hole.
That's your assumption.
That's our assumption. Okay.
You have no confirmation.
So why would he take him to Madison? Madison's weak at the moment and seems to be touching the hedge and the abyss. Why does she? Maybe is she pulling something through the hedge?
I don't know. She could be. Maybe she needs something from there.
Do you remember those old cartoons where they would like slap the black hole on the wall and then they like reach through and get something to pull it out the other side? Vitale is the black hole and she's slapping him on Madison. What he's pulling through, I don't know.
I don't know either. But I'm about to aid in that, whatever it is. Because I don't really have a choice.
Keep us posted on how that goes.
It's not a matter of what she's pulling through. It's a matter of who. It's the body, right? It's not like she's going to pull an abyssal carrot through.
Okay. Let's think about this.
What was your story? You said that she told you a story a bunch.
The story of the La Sombra, basically.
Otai. Yeah. The willing servant versus the unwilling servant.
All right, so was that some sort of analytical parable, or are we looking at like an actual? Was that a person?
I think it was a person, but also a parable.
That's the question with all kindred stories: what's truth and what's inserted to teach a lesson.
It's true. She tells it to me like it's a parable.
Well, what if? Who would be important to her? Who would she want to pull over?
Intelligence occult, all of you, if you have it. You have enough information where you might be able to piece a couple things together here. Give me what your successes are, please.
Eva rolled, or Dakota rolled 1 success.
I rolled 2 successes.
Okay.
I almost want to willpower it just because I really want.
How much can you reroll with a willpower?
2.
You could reroll 2. Remember, you guys can blood. You can also rouse the blood and add 2d10.
I'm gonna re-roll 2 dice, just because I am really curious. Okay, so I rolled a 10. I rolled a 10 on my willpower.
5.
Oh,
yeah, so now you've got 5 because it's a critical.
With a critical success on Ava. Is it messy critical or just a clean critical?
It's clean.
It's clean, yeah.
Clean critical. All right. We'll roll with Ava being the only one, as she's had plenty of interaction with Bella in the past, and things you've talked about in the past with amongst one another, about each other, and about the Lasombra clan. One you all come to the consensus of is Lasombra is a clan that, much like the Hekata in some way, deal with the Abyss. The Abyss is where they draw their power from. You remember speaking to Crowley about dealing with the Abyss, and every time you use the Abyss, how it's a strain. In order to even use the Abyss, there's an inherent risk to your very being as a human or a soul. So the Lasombra also deal with the Abyss, maybe even in more literal sense with the manipulation of shadows and the like. And she's a Methuselah, which means she's not the clan leader. She didn't create the clan. She's not head top honcho. Through the stories that, and you've had a couple of other conversations with her, Ava, as well, talking about a willingness, a choice, how she is like you in so many ways that you weren't given that choice like she was. Taking that context, there's not such a bad guess to assume that perhaps it's her sire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's trying to pull her sire.
Yeah.
Out
She's
of
ready
the
to
abyss.
start the party.
This is way soon. This is like.
So
this could all happen way sooner than we thought.
So is Sybil supposed to represent this Idaho or Otai?
I don't think. No. I think either Bella or myself is supposed to represent that.
Okay. All right. So she's going to put her sire into Captain Blackhole. Why?
Fill him up. He's easier to kill when he's in a body.
Is it really that petty?
It seems to be.
She's a crazy enough bitch, I wouldn't doubt it.
I think it really is that petty.
That seems like that's going to lead to way worse, right? You open up a door
and bad things happen.
And you literally bring the originator, the first of the Lasombra. Hell, isn't his name Lasombra or something? Isn't that the point? That's how it all starts.
They don't know. So yeah, as Ollie brings this up, there's probably been talk of it in the past. But they don't actually. The sire's name is unknown. They know the clan, the antediluvian for Lasombra's name is unknown. He is an unknown.
Okay. Why would Bella want to drag him out and put his soul in a body? Because she can't eat it any other way.
She also can't kill it and capture it. Anything that dies here, she's got a control of. Remember?
She can drink Vitel dry.
She could. But who's to say that he's not just gonna sit inside of this body and run amok? I've seen lots of plans fall through real fast. People get these big brass balls, and then there's no follow through because they don't really know what's about to happen. The problem is what happens when she tries, she fails. He or it succeeds, and then something real bad happens.
Extremely powerful Lasombra walking around.
Okay.
Kind of like Kindred into Days.
The plan was to come back, Miss Ava.
Gehenna. Sorry, what, Dakota?
To come back. To bring him back.
Apparently, I don't know. She didn't. I asked how long he needs to be there or what's the plan. She didn't really give me any clear
She
instructions.
said he would tell you.
He would tell me. Yeah, the guy who only breathes heavily, the mouth breather, is gonna tell me.
If we think that she's making big plans, we can't not tell someone or do something.
Should we tell Jackson?
Yes.
Oh God, I have to meet her in like 2 hours.
Well, like an hour now.
I'm gonna be honest.
5 minutes.
I don't think there's a way you're getting out of taking a trip to Madison.
That's fine, but I just like, okay, well, I guess whatever happens, happens, but.
I can get to Jackson fast. I just spent so much time in the labyrinth. I can get there fast.
You just gotta hope he's available. But he will be in time. So is Ava walking out?
Yeah, I am gonna do this. Just, I would say, like, give me like a phone or something, or.
Do you want to bring the name of the coterie with you? She didn't say you couldn't bring anybody.
Or if anybody wants to volunteer to come with. I know Dakota's like, I'm never going back to Madison as long as I live.
Actually, I wanted to ask Dakota something. When we went to Madison the first time to look at that old lady's house, the one that had Rowan.
Yeah.
When we were in the basement, she had books. She had hundreds of books.
Yeah.
And so many of them were on fairy tales. Grim fairy tales this, like Irish and Gaelic nonsense. She was studying it, right?
Some would, yeah, probably.
All right, this is about to sound real hokey, but I need you to follow me on this. You know people, particularly you know a real old people. I met her once, the lady at the library. Who knows books better than her?
Okay.
What do you think the chances of her happening to know anything at all about fairy tales and fairies, and what can stop a fairy?
Well, I guess I'm sure she would know something.
Even if it sounds ridiculous and she's like, you gotta freeze a salt shard, I don't mind. I'll go through the process. It doesn't bother me. We live in a world where vampires are real. Ha, look, I'm a real vampire. I'll fucking freeze a salt shard.
This before, Mathis.
You may have. I don't specifically remember. If you did, like Cold Iron is like a classic. You could any.
The only thing, Ollie, is you know that the folk tales of how to deal with vampires is mostly not true. We're not affected usually by crosses and garlic and things like that.
Yeah, we're not affected by garlic, but crosses?
I mean, it depends. It's only if people are actually
believers, or just belief in an area. And if we're going into a place, it doesn't take much. That information had to get out and disseminate somehow. Even if it's made up, I'd rather exhaust a fallacy and a lie and look foolish, just so I can prove them wrong later. I'm not gonna show up with garlic around my neck to deal with a fairy, but if I don't know, if I could have a dagger or I don't use weapons. If I can find anything that can help at this point, anything to give us an inch up. I just need some kind of protection because she don't exactly play by the rules.
Would we be better off trying to seek this information with somebody like the Chantry versus
Probably.
like an average library?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, much like vampire lore in VTM, fairy lore, as you're already talking about, like you're likely going to get a mix of just like mostly made up trash and like a couple other maybe based on factual things.
But we're not going to know.
To be real with you though, like to be honest with you, Fae and all that stuff is still pretty strange and known to Kindred. The Chantry may have nothing. The Chantry may have nothing on the Fae. The Fae are not something that is interacted with on a regular basis by Kindred because Fae are so fucking to themselves.
Ava, do you want somebody to go with you?
Kind of, yeah. We could make it a group excursion. We've done many of those to
I
Madison.
hate Madison very much.
I do too, but somehow we keep ending up back there.
There's no place like home.
Somebody's got to keep me company with that guy. He doesn't talk much. And then the veils take.
Not who's gone.
Well,
The
it's only
shadows
one,
took
guys.
her.
Sorry.
Yeah, the
That's
shadows.
a good way to get out of going to Madison.
Yeah. She's like,
Not
I'm out.
Well, Dakota sounds like she's gonna go. What about Ollie?
I'm gonna hunt out a particular Ventru.
Okay.
I'm gonna move. Like Ollie's typically a walker. He'll run this time.
You're looking to get a hold of Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll work that then. Welcome back, Doc.
Sorry, that was the boss.
that's
I
not-
don't
don't
mean
worry.
Jackson.
Are you going to go to Madison then, Dakota?
Is Ollie going to Madison?
Ollie's gonna go see the Ventru. He's gonna see Jackson, and then he's gonna go to Madison.
Well, you could do. That's up. Yeah. Well, no, Ava's running out of time, so
Yeah.
Ava doesn't have that.
She's got an hour before she meets, right?
Yeah,
Okay, Matt-
Ava's got an hour before
Max,
she.
I'm about to send you something in Zoom.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I guess if you want to meet us
Yeah.
in Madison.
Yes, but
Works.
when I initiate that. I'll
Okay,
work.
perfect.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I was gonna help you if that was a thing and like
Yep,
make it
nope.
all one thing. Great. Dakota's like, fuck.
I've been to Madison a couple of times, so yeah. Needless to say, I shouldn't have a problem getting around. Plus, I've got a special package to drop off.
So, you're going with Ava?
I'm gonna go see Mr. Jackson. I'm gonna get to
meet
him,
us there.
So
and then
you're not going to Madison.
I will. Remember, the labyrinth, it doesn't exactly abide by regular time. I'm gonna get there the fastest way that I know possible, particularly to Jackson, and then I'll catch a ride. I don't think Jackson's gonna sit this one out. He might. I've been surprised before, but I also know how to drive a car. I only had to hotwire about 15 of them as a kid.
I do want to bring up one thing, not because I'm trying to kibosh your ideas and whatnot. Something to keep in mind. Jackson is a pretty brand new primogen, so he's been very much at the Ivory Tower doing primogen stuff.
Yeah.
So getting a hold of him is likely going to happen, but you will likely have to wait a little bit because it's still early in the night.
So basically, Ollie will get to talk to Jackson, but probably not make the trip.
Yeah,
to
you probably won't
Madison.
make it to Madison for the stuff. It's either
It'll be
Jackson
either
or
or.
Madison, more or less.
I'm gonna be really honest. I really don't think Bella is gonna want me tagging along on her little shindig to send her black hole to be filled. You know what I'm saying? She didn't say I couldn't bring anyone. You couldn't bring anyone, right?
She didn't say one way or the other.
I hate Madison so much.
I love
I'm
Dakota's
just-
version
What
of
if we-
Madison so much.
what if we send
It
someone to
is a
intercept?
cursed shithole.
It
It
is.
is a horrible place.
What if it's a long shot, and I can imagine it's gonna be met with some fears. But what if we send someone to intercept?
Intercept Vitel's.
There's a particular SI member who lurks not far from here, who might be interested in knowing that some real bad shit's gonna go down.
It's an option, but also very dangerous.
I mean,
Yeah.
the same could be said for the lupine, but I don't think I can just go knocking on their door. Okay.
The only
I
other
can't-
option is we hunt out Boss.
For
That's an-
what?
That's another figure. It's another person.
She's not even supposed to be here.
She's not. And 10 to 1 says that we're not supposed to be there when, the Fae calls forth the door and summons Popula Sombra either. If that's what's gonna happen, who knows?
You know what? I'll just do it. I'll just go.
No, you're not going by yourself. Ollie,
get this over with.
I can't let you go by yourself.
On it. Ollie's gonna go and fetch his package for Matthew, and then he's gonna start moving as fast as he can to the Ivory Tower.
Dakota will go with Ava to Madison.
Okay.
Sorry, Dakota.
You're all heading to the Ivory Tower then to start anyway.
Yeah, we'll just go together.
Everybody makes their way to the Ivory Tower for their individual reasons, though Ollie makes his way through the sewer.
Oh.
Up.
Looks like he's about to do like a
Through the sewer.
a technique.
Yeah.
Some praying
You're
mantis
back.
action. Hey, there
You're
you
back.
Oh, hello, welcome back. Oh, everybody was stuck for me, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Oh, I just got the unstable internet connection warning.
Yeah,
Yep.
we caught you in an awkward position.
Yeah,
so
you
have
hit us
to
with
repeat.
some like praying mantis pose.
Sorry, my bad. As I was saying, the camera will linger with Dakota and Ava as they make their way to the Ivory Tower, where a vehicle will be waiting for you. However, when you arrive, Ava, the valet on the outside actually just walks up, says, "Miss Heloise, your vehicle for the evening," and hands you keys, and then makes a gesture to completely tinted window black BMW that's running just at the front door.
I take them and look to Dakota and all right.
You want me to drive?
No. I'm just saying I can drive. It's fine. Just I don't know.
Shotgun.
Okay, we'll have Vitel sit in the back.
So
Drive
you
at the
see
front.
Ava first is already at the driver door, and she opens the door. And the car, like I said, you can kind of step inside and drive. Usually you're given some sort of security. For this, you're given none whatsoever. You're given the car, you're told to drive. That's never happened. But Dakota quickly bounds over to the passenger side door. She flings it open, and as she goes to step in, sitting there, staring ahead through the window, in a black suit with a crimson tie, completely clean shaven, gelled back hair that goes slicked down to the back of his neck. And he just, with a slightly open mouth, Mr. Vitel sits in the passenger seat, gently, rhythmically breathing.
Ava, despite all of this, will still like greet him warmly and will like turn to the back of the car, "Mr. Vitel," and she'll smile at him.
He's in the front seat.
Oh, he's in the front seat.
He's in the seat
passenger
that
seat.
Dakota tried to crawl into.
Yeah, you open the door and he was sitting there.
Dakota lets you greet him, and then she slowly closes the door with eyes of like,
Is this Dakota's first time meeting him? Okay, now you get to see what he's like.
And into the car you go,
yeah, I guess I'm sitting in the back seat.
and the wheels begin to roll away. And now, as you drive out, the whole time, every 30 seconds to a minute, it seems he just takes a weird, kind of deathly gasp of air. And then he releases it incredibly slowly.
I just picture like Ava is totally fine with this and is just driving, but Dakota in the backseat making that face like, what the fuck, the whole time.
Does Dakota say anything?
No! What does she have to say to him? Nothing! She doesn't even want to be here!
I'm
she
just
sits in the back seat and pouts like a kid on a road trip that was forced to come on summer break when all their friends are going to the roller rink. I sit in the back and play my Game Boy Color.
I should have brought you some entertainment for the ride.
Dakota just sits there like,
Sorry,
this is
Dakota.
the worst.
And as
sorry.
the car pulls away from the Ivory Tower, the camera locks in place and kind of warps through the back window, and we watch as the car pulls away. A few moments pass before the camera kind of dips down the street around the city block near a manhole that we see kind of sliding out, up and off before familiar hands launch a familiar Ollie out from the sewers themselves near the Ivory Tower. He slides it and scoots the manhole back over with just his foot. A few homeless are actually standing around, and one actually walks up to Ollie, shaking an empty cup with a couple of coins.
I immediately look around and I'll draw, what kind of cash I have for my wallet. I'll put a 20 in
Oh yeah, you
hand.
put a 20 in there, and there's genuine surprise and shock. Oh sir, oh thank you. Oh, I'm gonna get a warm meal. Thank you. And they kind of just begin to scamper away. Do you head right to the Ivory Tower?
Where do they go? Are they like you kind of look like they were looking around.
As soon as you hand them the money and they kind of turn to scamper off, they scurry over to a giant drum barrel that looks like it's got embers on the inside, though no actual open flame.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to that. This is a fairly uncommon occurrence, and when it does, it tends to have reason and meaning. So
you make your way over, and they're like I said, they shuffle up over, like really inspecting the 20 in the light of the ember of the drum barrel before. As you get closer, they almost reactively, and there's definitely a look of concern or even maybe fear as you get over. They quickly crumple the 20 and shove it deep in a pocket on the inside of their winter coat that has seen better days.
You all right? You all good?
Yeah. You don't want this money back, right?
No, I'm just looking out. I've been where you are, and I know what it's like to need a meal.
Yeah. Thank you. Not a lot of people help out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you looking for work?
What kind of work are you looking for?
Depends on the kind of work you can offer. What are you good at?
And he thinks for a moment before kind of kicks rocks. Before I was out here, I worked for a construction company. I'm good in my hands.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that help.
Okay.
I give him the address for the pub. You been in this area at all? You seen the Lights Out pub?
He shakes his head. No, I ain't heard of it.
It's over by the 55. Look for the Lights Out pub. There's a guy in there named Grant. Was a lot like you. I gave him some work. If you're willing to work, I'm willing to pay.
He looks, his eyes nervously kind of dart away from you constantly before looking back, and he's like, I mean it, mister, though. I'm not looking to do like anything illegal.
It's not dirty. It's legit. It's clean work.
All right. And he kind of looks to you for a moment. Can I get a charisma persuasion check, please?
Sure.
I'll even accept a charisma leadership check.
Yeah. You said persuasion or leadership?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna rouse the blood, and it's probably gonna take me to 3, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
All right.
Rouse Reno. Yep, 300.
Okay. I'll add 2.
And charisma leadership. Three successes.
Okay, 3 successes. After a little convincing and you making it very clear you're not looking to like extort him for some illegal work, or you're holding the 20 over his head for something to use, to kind of hopefully get like a dirty favor out of him or something. He does loosen up a bit. He doesn't fully relax. Still kind of holds that spot where you saw the 20 go with his right hand rather closely. But it seems that if you kind of give your spiel, he nods and he even repeats to you, all right, Lights Out pub. I'll talk to this Grant guy, and if I don't want to do anything though, I can turn away, right? I can turn it down. You ain't gonna come looking for me?
No, I'm not gonna turn it down. It's a sign of good faith, just so you can make sure you got a couple of nice good meals. And what else could come your way? I'll give him another 20.
As you reach out for another 20, this time he's actually very hesitant to take it from you. It is a good few seconds before he's even...
You owe me nothing, friend. You owe me nothing. I've been there. Eat good, come see me.
He reaches forward and very gently takes the 20 from you, and he puts it in the same pocket that you saw him put the other one. And he actually says, you can call me Catlin.
Catlin?
Yeah.
All right, I'll probably just shorten everything. I'll just call you Cat. Does that work?
He nods.
All right, Cat. Come see me. I gotta go, though.
As you say you gotta go, and he kind of agrees with you. You see him reach out and pull up like a busted 2x4 and huck it into the embers, and the flames begin to catch, and you can feel your beast on the inside at this point, already kind of there, making you realize you're hungry now. The threat of fire being in front of you kind of just kicks up, and you turn your head down, and you don't look back as you march out of the alleyway.
Yeah.
Round a corner. You're only about a block out. You can see the Ivory Tower. The construction on the Ivory Tower is finally complete. This thing looks beautiful. It's gained another 20 stories added onto it, and it is an utter gorgeous, and now the tallest building within Chicago itself. As you walk up, are you going right to the front door, as it is, or there's some sewer areas underneath that
Yeah, no, I'll go through the front door.
Okay. Zeus, the front doors actually slide open, and Katie looks over behind the desk, and she sees you. She doesn't smile. She doesn't even give you like a wave. She kind of gives you an acknowledged look, but goes back to writing and doing work on her computer.
I will move right up. I have something for her as well.
She looks up to you and raises an eyebrow. How can I help you tonight, sir?
Katie, you seem a little tense. Everything all right?
I'm sorry. Have we met? What's your name?
Ollie.
Ollie, and she looks down to her books.
Oliver Hopkins.
Oliver Hopkins. And she takes a moment, and then there's a few seconds where she goes, oh, Mr. Hopkins. Oh, I apologize. And she kind of just like rubs her eyes for a minute. I didn't see you come in. How can I help you?
That's weird. We've definitely had a few conversations before, Katie.
Yeah, we have. It's a long day.
Yeah, I get that. In fact, I just recalled enough, and I'll pull this small package of Andy's Thin Mints and place it in front of her. We talked.
She actually has a bright smile, and she's like, "You remembered."
Yeah. I'm looking for Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Jackson's currently in a council meeting this evening. He should be free, and you hear some typing on the laptop. Well, it looks like he'll be at least the council meeting for the evening. Will be done in about an hour's time. Can't account for him otherwise, but within this business here.
If you could just leave a message for him, tell him that Oliver Hopkins would like to see him.
Sure, and where could he find you tonight if he wants to reach out?
The theater is probably the best place. It'll be late, though.
And she types it away, and as soon as she hits like the enter button, looks up. All right, note taken. As soon as he's out, I'll have the message passed along to him. I'll send it off to his secretary, actually. Is everything okay, Mr. Hopkins?
Do you really not remember me?
No, I very much remember you. And she gestures to the Andy's mints. You asked me what my favorite. I think you saw what the mint was up there, and she just kind of recites what happens.
Yeah, you just struggled to really recall about who I am.
I didn't mean any offense, please. If there's anything I could do to...
I know. It's all right. It's a funny world. Things sometimes slip by us.
She nods. Thank you, Mr. Hopkins. And try to stay safe tonight as she goes back to working.
Yeah. And I'll leave.
Back to the movie theater while you wait for Jackson.
I am probably going to try to accommodate and confiscate a vehicle from any place I can.
I mean, you can go to a parking lot anywhere in Chicago and attempt to hotwire something, my friend.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Let's see it. What kind of car are you looking for? What kind of car is Ollie looking for here?
Something insignificant, like an 84 Pinto hatchback.
Okay. Give me a wits investigation. Let's see.
You got it.
As you go looking for a hatchback.
I'm looking for something small, something you wouldn't expect Oliver Hopkins to write in.
Ollie picks a rabbit.
I got 2 10s on Hunger Die.
So the idea in mind that you're looking for something that you wouldn't find Ollie in, but can't quite find the hatchback that you're looking for. You do find a sick 1981 VW Bug.
Herbie, let's go.
Yes,
all right.
sir. It's bright yellow with flowers on it.
That's perfect.
Let's see. Let's see you hotwire this sucker. So you're just gonna bust into this thing. Like, how are you opening this door? You're just gonna snap the door open. Are you gonna try to pick the lock? Are you gonna bust the window?
In most vehicles of this age, it's not super hard to get into them. The locking mechanism is relatively simple.
So you just want to try and pick it?
Yeah, you just got to lean on the glass, and if you have a little bit of dexterity to it, you can lift the lever.
All right, give me a dex larceny check, sir.
Yeah. I got two successes.
2 successes. You lean in and you can hear the aluminum kind of just creak as you just angle it just enough as you lean on the glass, and with a bit of a kind of a jiggle, eventually the handle just kind of pops and the lock pops out, and the door just kind of swings open with a creak.
Unreliable, huh? Well, I'll never see this coming.
All right, now you need to hotwire this sucker for me, sir.
Okay.
Which I believe is a Dex driving check?
That's larceny again.
Is it larceny? All right, works for me. Dex larceny.
Okay. I am going to need to feed for sure.
Okay.
Larceny.
What are you at for food?
I have 1 available dot.
Ooh, baby. Feeding's going to risk a hunger frenzy. All right, love it.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes doesn't take much. In Ollie's day, when he was a younger kid, I'm sure he hotwired a few vehicles on the street occasionally, and this older vehicle is it's probably why it's why Ollie went for the older models anyway. That's what he's familiar with, and he knows how to work them. So with a little bit of just a few seconds of work, you can hear the snapping of some wires and a quick sparks, foot on the pedal, and the engine revs up.
Yes. I am going to seek the easiest place for me to feed. I'm going to
The
go
rack
to
is the
bar.
closest.
Is it the closest? Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right near the Ivory Tower. You're right by the rack.
Then yes, I'm gonna go to the rack.
Okay.
And I think it's very fitting with how the character is not necessarily becoming, but with current state of humanity.
Yeah.
He's gonna care a little bit less about someone who's very well aware of the kindred world, and he's gonna slake 3.
Okay. And you're gonna take somebody out in the back who's kind of drunk and wandering. So give me your strength brawl roll, please.
You got it.
And you're at 4 hunger.
Uh-huh.
Make me a hunger frenzy check as you feed.
Oh boy.
The beast has been sitting at the forefront of Ollie for some time,
Oh, that's 4 successes.
but 4 successes is more than enough to resist a hunger frenzy as you do.
That was just a brawl.
I thought you were rolling your frenzy check. 4 successes, plenty to take out a mortal, and I imagine you just kind of knock them up against the wall, covering their mouth with your elbow up against their neck.
Okay, there we go. I think that's right. I didn't have to modify anything. Three successes.
3 successes is enough. 3 successes is enough to resist a 4 feeding hunger frenzy as you pin this person up against a wall, and you unlatch your porcelain mask as it dangles from your left side of your face. And as you open your row of shark teeth and sink them in, you allow the beast to indulge, maybe even for the first time willingly like this. You won't give it everything it wants, as it desperately desires you to finish the job, pull the soul from it, and allow it to sate itself and put it into a slumber for a little while. You won't hear it nagging. You know you won't feel it. It'll be gone, the shake completely. But no, you still have control. And though the shark teeth sink in and you drain him until not only do you feel his body go limp, but you can feel his skin becoming even cooler to the touch as the heat drains, as you bring him just from an inch from his last breath. You're able to, without giving into the beast, unlatch your teeth and with your long tongue lick the wounds across, cleaning the blood. But as you look to him and even pull back your arm and uncover his mouth, even feeling his breaths, they are incredibly shallow. Do you give a crap? Do you just leave him here and say somebody will take care of him? There's a busy street not too far away.
Can I take him back into the rack?
I mean, he's in the rack right now, just in an alleyway.
Okay. Can I take him?
A rack is just a term for the street.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna move him into view of people.
You want to pick him up and go invisible then? So you can bring him in quietly. Go ahead and give me a rouse check to see if you gain a hunger from going invisible.
Yep, 2 hunger.
Okay. And as you kind of pick his body up and ripple away from existence and around the corner, where you can see a mass of bodies mashing together. Do you place him the corner of the alley where the sidewalk in the street would be? I mean, the sidewalk in the alley kind of would be coming close, maybe up against a dumpster, right behind one.
Yeah, a little closer to the street where sun might be able to hit if they leave him out that long.
Right. There's a place that he'll easily be seen, but you won't be seen right out the gate, basically.
Right.
So, as I said, just behind a dumpster that's right next to the city streets where there's a ton of people walking. As you place his body down, and you know his body kind of comes into view and ripples into existence, and yet you do not. You step back, and does Ollie wait to watch, or does he just assume he'll be taken care of?
He's just going to assume that he'll be taken care of. He likes
Ollie
to lean, like even all things considered, he likes to lean on the fact that people aren't inherently bad.
Yes. And so Ollie turns his back, leaving him there, still alive, hasn't killed him, and walks from the alley, much less hungry than before, but still not as sated as he would like to be.
Right.
And then you make your way to, from there, after you feed, where would you like to go?
He is going to go quite fast on the way to Madison.
Oh, okay. So okay, cool. So you're going to head right to Madison in the car. You're going to try and catch up. Can I actually get then a Dex driving check to see if you make up any time?
Sure. You got it.
Ava, you're welcome to make me a Dex driving check as well. So put in for Jackson. You may not be there for when he comes to reach out to you, but hey, he now knows you're looking.
I got a success.
One success?
Yeah.
I got 2 successes for my drive.
So, well, you may not be able to gain time on them particularly. It's not like you're you left super far behind them.
Right.
And so the camera, as we watch the little VW bug rattle on off down the street, and you can hear actually something's loose and clanging underneath as it drives down the road. You hit like a pothole and you can hear it hit the ground. The camera will actually rise above the city, so far so that we can see the headlights of the Ava's car and the distance and between Ava's and Ollie's vehicle as the camera roars forward, coming closer down to the street level, moving through the trees, the thick of the forest that surrounds you now on both the left and the right as you've been driving for a good hour or so outside the city at this point. And then it goes through the passenger rear side window right next to Dakota, who Dakota's head still down and silent. Okay. Can I get a wits awareness?
She might have brought a book.
Okay. Can I get a wits awareness from the both of you?
I got 1 success.
Okay.
Dakota also only got 1 success.
Okay. No notices. You drive for a while. The ride to Madison is typically a long one, and it's a quiet one, filled with the silence of woods on both sides. You've heard horror stories of the lupines who actually wander the woods out here and the occasional attack of any kindred who's doing any business in Madison, but that's never happened to you, and it's always remained just stories of other kindred within Chicago, things you've heard through the Rose Garden over your years. And luckily, doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Eventually, as you ride up a very familiar hill that you've seen before you enter Madison every time, you can see the lights into Madison. And just as the lights of Madison greet you through your windshield, and you can actually, both Dakota, you can see over her shoulder as well, little town of Madison down the hill, a good another 15, 20 miles out, he actually goes, almost arrived.
Is there a specific place you would like me to take you? In the
He does
city
not
or in the
respond.
town?
He returns to his breathing, but it's at this point, now that he's drawn his attention, you find his breathing is actually much more regular, less sparse and sporadic, and much more common.
Interesting. Ava will just keep driving.
Can I get another, by the way, during that, I'll take one more Dex drive check from you, Ollie, and one more from you, Ava.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay, it's maybe not a bad thing.
Oof.
0.
Never mind. Fine. No. no gain whatsoever on on her at all.
That's the one thing that I think I like about the World of Darkness system is that with their skills, like drive, it just says in the rules, you don't actually need any skill at driving. Like you can have 0 in drive and still drive just fine. You need the skill in order to perform well at driving.
Yeah.
Correct. It's the supernatural and the professional.
That's why
level.
Dakota took one for the boat, because it seemed like, more
Different.
specialized driving. Yeah.
Does Dakota say anything?
No, absolutely not. If you look in the
It's a
rearview
quiet
mirror, she
ride.
looks like somebody has made her suck on a lemon for a few hours. She looks like she does not fucking want to be here. And then he says something.
As you approach the town, the next 15 to 20 miles, and you hit the main road, rolling by the post office that's on the outskirts and the area where a once pop star spent some time before disappearing from this little town herself. He tells you to continue driving. Do not stop. And as you roll on, maybe nodding, you realize you're about to hit the outskirts of Madison and hit a particular set of road that you've been down maybe once or twice.
Woods.
The woods.
Oh, he stays at the same Airbnb we do.
Oh, shit.
The asphalt road eventually gives way to dirt, and the dirt eventually turns into trotted grass before the stopping wood posts that prevent you from going any further with your vehicle come into view. The car rolls to a stop, and as he does so, he actually sits upright. He closes his mouth. He reaches for the handle of the door, and he turns to you, Ava, and says, "I thank you." And then he opens the passenger side door and swings it open. He swings out his right leg, followed by his left, and standing upright from there, from the seat, turning and shutting the door. And you watch in your headlights as he begins to slowly walk forward.
I just stay in the driver's seat, and I'm just like, I watch him as he's walking. I don't say anything. I just watch him.
Are you gonna go with him?
I didn't say to. I guess I should. Maybe.
You come to this decision and you look up and you're like, maybe I should. You watch him as he disappears through the thick of the woods in front of you.
All right. Dakota, stay here at the car, okay? I'm gonna go. If he tells me to come back or whatever, then I'll come back. But I just want to see where he's going at least. So Ava will get out and kind of just follow. Not like a few feet behind.
Sure. And Dakota, as you watch Ava kind of go out the driver's side door, leaving the car on, and the headlights are still on as their engine's rumbling, you see her walk and step over the wooden posts and crunch her high heels through the grass itself. What does Dakota do?
Dakota removes the keys.
Okay, so you turn the engine off and then shuttles to a stop.
Dakota pockets the keys.
Sure.
And then she probably sits there and quiet for a while. She can't let Ava go in there by herself.
Okay. You're watching as you turn the car off, and Dakota's sitting in the back seat with the keys in her hand. She's like weighing the options. It's at that moment where you're about to make a decision. You watch too as Ava crosses the line into the woods and disappears from view.
Into the woods, not the cabin?
You don't see the cabin yet. It's just the woods. He walked into the woods, then Ava's like, I can't, and she's like, went after him. Now she walked into the woods. Now it's your turn to make a decision.
Danger.
Well, he doesn't seem to give a rat's behind that I am here. So he doesn't clearly care what I do. All right, Dakota's got the keys. She looks around. It says heavily wooded, yeah?
Yes, heavily wooded.
Great. Dakota gets a running start, and she's going to trail her through the trees.
Okay, you're going to follow after Ava, and the camera will stick by the car as you run forward through the grass, and then Dakota disappears through the trees.
No. She's going to actually climb a tree and use the trees to follow her.
Disappear into a tree, and then
got it. Okay, cool. Yeah. She does
work.
not want to be seen. She's just she's just keeping a distance.
Gonna try. And then the camera tilts upward, and we see the moon in the sky, and we watch it adjust its position ever so slightly as time passes. And then as it bends downward, a new set of headlights as a rattling VW bug rolls up next to the vehicle. Ollie, you drove through Madison and saw no sign of them, and eventually went to the last place you imagined that they could be. And as luck would have it, or perhaps even as you expected, you roll up and see an empty, turned off black tinted window BMW. Similar style that you see the Prince use many times.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet that's them.
What does Ollie do?
Well, is the car running?
Nope, it was turned off.
Ollie will probably pull away, not to this area, like maybe a block away, and
down the dirt road a decent amount is basically all you've got as an option. So down the dirt road a block-ish.
Yeah. And I think he's gonna start moving. I don't think there's anything that he feels. I don't think Obfuscate's gonna help him here. I think even he's aware that, like, if she just overwrites all the rules and makes up her own rules as she goes, it doesn't matter if I'm obfuscated or not. She's gonna see me.
Oh, you're thinking of Faye. Got it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna step out of the car and make your way towards where you believe they went.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can follow any kind of semblance of tracks. I'm looking for heels.
Yeah, and give me a wit survival check.
I don't think I've ever had to make this check ever.
You're trying to trick somebody. So now you got to.
I was about to say Dakota has a lot of survival, but rarely.
You're going to be making yours as well, but you followed a little sooner than he did. So.
Okay.
I got a success.
Okay, well, they only left an hour ago, and as you look around, you're not sure if it's heels, but there's definitely indentations on the grass marking feet, like tracks.
Sure.
And we'll watch as Ollie bends down and kind of runs his finger over the dent and stands up and sees the direction in which they went. And then with a steadfast stoicism, walk alongside those and he himself disappear into the thick of the woods. And we'll go to break on that.
Oh.
As he fades black. So we'll
good.
wait.
My Chipotle just got here.
Oh, timing.
I'm gonna have to finish eating my Chipotle.
Oh, and for
Not sponsored.
I think we have some new people in chat. For the people who are like, oh, Chicago. We started this campaign before the Chicago book, so don't expect Chicago canon to match up. It just wasn't available at the time.
Yep.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everybody, and welcome back from break. I hope you all got your drinks, relaxed, and all that good stuff. Are you guys all ready to jump back in?
As ready
I don't like
as
that
we'll
face,
ever
but
be.
I don't know. I think you were fighting a yawn, though, is what that was. I think.
No.
No. All right. It looked like you were like trying to fight the yawn.
As ever, like I'm as good as I can be for this.
Yeah, I don't know what we're about to expect. So
We're poking a bear,
We're
all
about to
right.
see.
Like this is gonna go interestingly, regardless.
The scene's going to pick up not mid-chase through the forests or watching. We can see little glimpses of Ava catching up to Mr. Vitale and simply following him. The camera will then see in the trees something rustling and just a glimpse of something that's darting from tree to tree. And then with extra time, the slow plodding pace of Ollie Hopkins as he makes his way over. But eventually we come to the clearing in a tree. Both familiar and yet always different clearing. Ava, as you step forward with Mr. Vitale through that clearing, you're greeted with a familiar sight. That ever cliche description of a cabin in the woods, with its deteriorated windows, broken bottles littering, door off its hinges and overgrown on the ground. If you look around, I'm sure you could find a lantern somewhere, not too far by. There's a moment where Mr. Vitale stops and seems to take it in. He adjusts his cufflinks and even tightens his suit a little bit. The closer he got, the more with it he seemed to become. His breathing actually stopped entirely, like any kindred's would. His suit and tie completely buttoned and perfected as he walked. His posture straightens out, his jaw closes, and he just truly becomes whole, you might even say. As he looks in the cabin, he smiles, and he looks to you. Miss Heloise, I appreciate everything you've done for me so far. If you wouldn't mind staying here for a moment.
Sure. If you need me, just call.
He gives you a pleasant smile, and he walks forward, and he makes his way into the house. Dakota and Ollie, you're all within the borders of the woods at this point. You can see Ava, you can see the cabin, and you can see him walking in. Do you stay hidden, or do you not? Ava being the only one who's openly outside of the woods in the clearing at this point.
I would be sitting on the edge of a tree.
Yep.
Staring at this cabin
Okay.
with a full 10-foot pole between me and it.
Okay.
Nothing
Ollie?
good ever walks out of that cabin.
And Ollie.
I'm gonna wait.
Okay, you just wait. And Ava waits.
Can I sense the unseen?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Let me just double check and see if this
You're going to
is
have to make a wits awareness against, well, the question is it trying?
I'm just trying to see if I have to rouse for this ability. One moment.
I do not think you do. I'm pretty
No,
sure
I don't.
it's level
I
1,
don't.
so it's a passive.
Yep,
All
it
level
is.
1 passive.
Okay, so wits, yeah.
So all you do, we watch as Ava glances up. She blinks her eyes a few times, and we watch as the camera gets really close, a real close shot of her face as her pupils begin to dilate and then completely cover the whites of her eyes. She looks around for a moment, taking focus, and we see things through Ava's eyes for the briefest of minutes. And as Ava looks around, Ava, what you see isn't necessarily something that is of a particular origin. It's not like a person or a spirit that lingers nearby, though perhaps there's plenty of them. But your attention isn't drawn to that. What you look above you, you see in the sky. It is a night sky as it is in every other night. But there is not a single star that is in existence in that sky. The moon is completely gone. It is an inky dark blackness, all you can see, until the trees cut your vision from it. But that vision, that recognition of what you see is mere moments after you open your eyes, is because you are immediately snapped to by the loud shouting and screaming of hundreds or thousands of voices. All around you, you can just hear the screams of pain, agony, some for help, some asking them to end it. You can hear some voices clamoring to just kill me, please, just kill me. And all of that ends. Your eyes blink. The sky is replaced by its night sky and the voices are gone. few more minutes pass, and eventually Mr. Vitale steps out the front door, a smile on his face and a brooch on his jacket. As he walks over, he sees seeing that you waited patiently, he smiles. He says, "Please, Miss Heloise, I appreciate you waiting for me. Would you mind leaving me in the town center of Madison this evening before heading back to Chicago?"
Of course. Is everything done here?
Everything is done here. You are now looking at the Baron of Madison.
Oh. Well, right this way, Mr. Baron.
He smiles.
Does his demeanor look different?
I should say the mayor of Madison. I shouldn't use the word Baron. Baron's more anarch specific.
Yeah. Does he look like any different at all? Like anything about him?
Not really. Not on the first, not just looking at him as you are.
Okay. Interesting. I guess I'll turn and walk back with him.
As you do so, make your way through the woods and the like. You start marching back. Dakota, you see all of this. Ollie and Dakota may make a wits awareness.
Two.
You both heard that. You both heard the conversation, as they're not saying in whispered tones, so to speak. Do you make your way back as they make their way into the woods, Dakota and Ollie?
Yeah.
Did I see Dakota? Are we aware of each other? Ollie's not hiding as like he's.
So Dakota would probably see Ollie. Ollie wouldn't necessarily see Dakota.
My purpose was to be unknown, I guess.
Exactly.
But I might. I mean, if I see Ollie, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I'm up here." You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I
so
don't
you
think
would
I'm
then
coming
yes,
down
you
out
would
of
be
the trees.
you would be made aware of each other, probably early on to him walking into the cabin, and when she goes into her sense the unseen, looking around.
Okay. If he says that you're now looking at the mayor, I'd like look in her direction and just mouth it like questioning, like, mayor?
As we walk back, Vitale and I'll just ask him, so does that mean you're staying here now? I assume this will be your new home?
Yes, I'll be tangentially looking over it for the prince. It is a satellite location under her domain, and there's been trouble here. I believe your brother actually used to come and tend to these areas.
He did, yes. I've been here a few times with him.
My apologies for your loss. Well, this place will be under a more strict rule now. Too much danger out here, and Bella doesn't want to go unwatched.
That makes sense.
I thought so as well. And then he kind of just looks forward and almost like leaves you kind of back to ignoring you unless you go to speak with him again.
Nope. Just head back to the car.
Dakota would make it back to the car before they do. You're leaping through the trees and you're probably trying to get ahead of them at this point. So we'll say the camera would then, from that small, quick conversation in the woods, hard cut to behind the car. As we can see, Dakota's leaning up against the car, already waiting. And we can see Ava and Mr. Vitale walking out of the woods.
Like spinning the keys.
Dakota will be taking Mr. Vitale to the city center. He'll be staying here as the new mayor of Madison.
He smiles with just a little bit of teeth. Thank you. Only to help create a solid foundation for Chicago and maintain peace, of course.
Of course.
He nods.
I toss the keys at Ava.
Yeah, and I'll get in the car.
Ava quickly
So,
catches them and curls them on her finger.
Don't actually need me for that, do you?
Ollie, would you? Oh, the car is actually further back down the road. Would you head to the car and kind of drive off?
I don't. Yeah, I think no, I need to see to Matthew. I'm gonna go to Matthew's house.
Okay, so you're gonna leave.
Never mind. Ava's my ride. I'm here to tag along.
Into the car, then you all file. And you're gonna make your way to the city center, where as you arrive and you pull over near town hall, you don't have to turn the car off. He simply opens the door. he thanks you again, and thanks you, Dakota, even though he never asks for your name and never calls you by your name. He just simply thanks you.
He knows already.
Yeah, and as he turns to Town Hall and he faces it, the door actually, there's a light on, and the front double door is open wide, and a young woman on the other side is waiting for him. He gives her a gentle wave, and she waves to him, and she welcomes him inside, and the door is shut behind them.
I look back to Dakota like, damn, it's that easy, right? He just walks in and now he's mayor.
Nothing is that easy.
That's not what I was expecting. Him being mayor.
She needs to assure this place is safe.
Right.
Secure. I have a feeling that this is where she's gonna, have a big sandwich party.
It makes sense for him to be here. For her needs in this little town.
And I imagine the Fae problem isn't helpful.
Probably
and
not.
Vitel, what a charming man he is. I imagine that he's a great diplomat.
I mean, he was in DC for all that time.
I'd say it was the skinny tie, but it was just as cheeky to meet her.
Yeah, he's quite the charmer. Well,
yeah.
At least I won't have to do any more escorts with him at this point.
Say never.
We should get out of here, I guess. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming with me, Dakota. I didn't know what to expect out here, and I
was afraid he was gonna eat you, so...
I was afraid, too, that something worse could have happened, so I'm glad that you came with me.
I don't know. Him becoming mayor does not bode well.
Doesn't settle well with me at all.
But, I couldn't let you come alone. You've always had my back at the worst fucking times. I guess if I have to go to the Cabin of Doom, it's the least I can do for you.
And on that sort of sarcastic remark, we watch as the car rolls out from the street from the city center and back towards Chicago. But the camera lingers in Madison. We blur cut over to a familiar white house that's been long for sale and never inhabited. The front door always left open as Ollie walks in, and the dust on the layer of the counters and the countertops and bits of the house still lay thick. You pace for a little while, not sure if he's going to arrive or not, and knowing that he arrived only a few days ago to deal with a potential version of your boy. And Ollie lingers, I imagine, for a while. You give it some time, waiting. And just when you think you're going to give up, a couple hours of waiting in, you hear a very familiar crack sound before bare feet on concrete come through the back door. A haggard, coughing, pale-looking Matthew greets you.
Matthew.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. And he presents to him a box. It's wrapped in newspaper.
He kind of reaches for it and then slides it onto a nearby countertop and opens it.
Inside is a gently used Nintendo 64 with Mario Kart and 4 controllers.
You imagine that he would smile at this if he had the energy to.
Been a while, huh?
Been busy. I'm sorry about your
Yeah. No, it's fine. What's happening?
What do you mean?
You told me so long ago that if one of them died, that the other one would die.
I was wrong.
All right, so if you had to muster a guess.
I did a better job than I thought.
So it just moved?
Didn't move. The fetch just didn't crumble. It's just not how it works.
Matthew, you look like you're on borrowed time, friend.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like it.
Did you change because of the place, or did you change because of her?
Column A, column B, I think.
I mean, if you're cut from the same cloth, why don't you get with the times, man? Why don't you roll into some of that abyss power that she's sapping up like it's a drink?
No, it doesn't work like that. Arcadia is dying. It's a place they're from.
Yeah, it's a word that I heard recently as well.
Yeah, it's something's happened. I don't know what. But that's where I get it's where I was made, right?
Matthew, we're gonna need help. And I think you need help too.
I've been trying.
I just witnessed an experience in the woods. One of my kind-ish, a kind like me that breathes for some reason, walked into that cabin. Walked out and he declared himself the mayor of Madison. He's here. He's going to stay. It's not like I want that to happen, but it's way above my pay grade. So let me give you the skinny. Let me tell you what I know. There's a really old one of my kind. She's sleeping in Chicago. And when I say really old, I mean not quite the first, but like the second, third, or fourth coming. They do things by generation, and I'm on the tail end of power. But she's so old that she's got more power than I can even fathom. Not nearly as much as the one that made you, though, the way that you are, and Arcadia. And from my best guess, the way that I've talked with my compatriots, she's investing in a lifelong plot revenge. And your new mayor of this town feels like he's gonna be some sort of a doorway, that they're gonna pull something from the abyss. And they're using your Fae friend, your maker. She's the keyhole, or at least she's the doorman, to make sure that this whole thing can happen. And what she gets from it, since Arcadia is dying, she's siphoning off. Our guess is the abyss for energy.
You all have infinite lives, and yet you exist in perpetual fucking ignorance.
It's because nobody talks. There's not an exchange of communication. Everybody likes to stay their side.
And what does your older one plan to do when it's done?
Probably gloat until the end of her days, if there ever is an end of days for her. You know, as far as we've become removed from being human, she doesn't change that much. We don't change that much. We still have these petty squabbles that we carry with us under the grave, and instead of dealing with it over the course of weeks and months, we harbor it for generations. Years, decades, centuries. And now she's mad, and our guess is her dear old dad, the one that brought her into this life. Now she's either gonna kill him, or she's gonna eat him. Either way, it's gonna result in a serious power vacuum, and lots of power under her belt. In which case, I may as well die, you two, and everyone else that's at our pay grade, if you will. But I don't want to see you die, at least until I kick your ass in Mario Kart.
His eyes don't even reach over to meet yours, clearly lost in thought.
There's just got to be something else we can do. There's got to be more people at a playing level that can help us. Look, I'll do the work. Just give me something to bite onto.
I don't know what to tell you, Ollie. Arcadia is acting, and they're desperate to save their home. Doing what they can. Trying to patch up the leaks. And it looks like the Abyss is her tool. Or at least their tool. Maybe it's multiple, I don't know. But if that's the case, and what you're saying is true, then your ignorant older one sounds like she's using Arcadia as a bridge.
That's kind of what we guessed.
I can't do anything about that. I don't think you understand. There's a limit. Then they make me. It's a lot different than when you are made. There's no chain. There's no power structure. I have a few gifts and ways to get away. But my best bet is to stay in the hedge right now. Your best bet is to fucking stop her. What the hell happens if she succeeds? What happens if she uses the Arcadia as a bridge and the Abyss is able to fall into our world? Then what?
Well, there is kindred statements on what is called Eternal Night. I don't know shit about it, but it doesn't sound real good for those that live and breathe. Similarly, there's another thing called Gehenna. And it's pretty much kindred end of days, where all the blood comes pooling back to this place, and we just box it out until there's one man standing. For what reason? Beyond me. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I don't understand. Well, all because she's mad at her. Whatever the case, I seem to be dying alongside Arcadia is my best guess.
Matthew, are you human?
No, I haven't been in a long time.
Then, is there anything that I can do for you? And I don't mean like going to get you a console. In our world, power is in blood. What can I do to bring you back to a fighting state?
If what you're saying is true, when you accomplish it, remember me.
Well, I'm not going to forget your ugly ass.
Do it for her, too.
For Lilia.
It's the only reason I keep fucking trying. For her. So, if I can't stop it, I'm just gonna expect you to.
Well, we can't stop it alone.
Well, I'm not dead yet.
The others you met, the women, they're with me on this. We don't want any of this to happen.
Yeah. About him, I don't imagine he's around anymore.
I bet she...
I don't want a loose end out there, so she probably just reverted him.
No, I don't think so, Matthew. Until she gets a hold of you, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Okay. You hold on to that, all right?
I'm not holding on to it. But the last couple of times that I've seen her, she specifically asked about you.
Yeah, well, she lost me really early on and hasn't been able to get her fucking fingers around me since.
Well, she thinks that my boy is going to lead to you under any capacity, and she thinks that she can play me the same way. She's going to hold on to him. And yeah, I might be being hopeful, Matthew, but if I don't have anything to be hopeful for, then what the point is of fighting? This is the reason you're holding on to Lilia. So don't give me that shit.
Whatever keeps you moving.
Hey, I feel that.
Sorry I couldn't be more useful.
You got a book or anything that you've written all this shit down in? Anything that you can pass on?
A few goblins I've told the story to, but that's about it.
How much longer do you think you got, Matthew?
I've been trying to track it with Arcadia, and every time I pop in, Arcadia is worse off. I don't know if Arcadia is gonna die. If I'll die before Arcadia, I don't know. But every day I feel like I'm more tired. Every day it feels like I can go a little bit less than I could yesterday. I don't fucking know, man. I don't even know what's happening.
I know you're not going to want to do this because I've already offered it twice. Why don't you take some of my blood?
No.
Why?
A whole host of reasons. I'm not human, for one.
Yeah, well, I've given my blood to animals, to other living things. You're a living thing.
Not the same. You heard the stories of what happens when your kind drinks our kind's blood.
Yeah, nobody really talks about it.
You go mad, apparently. Crazy.
So what happens when you drink a kindred's blood?
I don't want to find out. I'm not dead yet. You'll see me again.
Don't go fucking dying on me, Matthew. There's a
Yeah.
lot still here to do for both of us.
I'd like to be useful before I clock out. So,
Would you, do me one favor? If I brought someone to tell a story to you, or you to tell a story to them, would you tell them?
yeah. Yeah, I trust you.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta get back to mines.
He nods.
I did have to work here, all right? Finding an old TV's not gonna be hard. But this, figure it out. I'm coming back, and I'm gonna wreck you on all the ranges, all right? Every lot. Rainbow Road, you mine, kid.
As you kind of say this, he picks it up and he puts it in a nearby cupboard to leave it at the house, and he closes it. He just gives you he just kind of gives you a look before he turns. And as he's walking out the back door, he just kind of says over his shoulder, "I'll see you again, promise."
Yeah.
As he steps through the door, the loud clap, and there's a puff of leaves. This time around, not green, but more autumn-like, orange and yellow. As they
But black veined.
around. As you go to look, yes, similarly so.
I'm gonna get them again.
Sure.
One leaf was probably not enough, but I imagine multiple leaves would certainly tickle a particular Malkavian's fancy.
And into your buggy you go, and I imagine you all will head back to the movie theater, is the goal, where you all come together. Ava and Dakota first, Ollie maybe 30 minutes later. And you all arrive and congregate. Do Ava and Dakota want to talk before Ollie walks in? Sorry.
I'm gonna ditch the bug.
Oh yeah, I imagine this is a one night thing where you kind of get rid of it. You even have contacts in crime. You could probably find a chop shop if you really cared.
Yeah, I'm not super worried about it. If the police find it, they can return it back to whomever it belonged to.
Fair. And you just park it on some city block,
Did-
not too far away.
Did the prince want me to come back at all or return?
No, you come back.
Okay, cool.
So you would head back to the movie theater, and then Ollie would walk in about 20 minutes after Dakota and Ava were there. You all realize it's rather late now, probably like 3 a.m. at this point.
I think I'm gonna stay here tonight. Every time I go to the tower, I end up getting in a meeting with the prince. I'm just gonna lay low here for a while. I don't want to be back there.
Is there this uneasy tension that just kind of sits in the room?
Yeah. Dakota is
Yeah.
how she always is when we return from Madison. I'm going to my boat.
But nothing even happened this time.
It doesn't matter. It still leaves her in a. Something did happen. Something did happen, Mathis. Don't try to play cheeky on me like that. It did happen. I heard those souls being ripped from oblivion.
You didn't hear anything.
Well, Dot did.
Dot did.
Dot did. But yeah, no. Dakota knows.
So Dakota just kind of says, "I'm going to go to my boat," and kind of just wants to abruptly.
She's headed to boat.
So Dakota looks to abruptly leave. Does Ava or Ollie stop her in any way?
I wasn't actually sure if Ollie was back there at that point.
Yeah, you'd be here for this point.
Okay. Then, he's probably going to look a little insane coming back. Fairly bedraggled, all things considered, but a pocket full of leaves. And he's going to ask how your drive home went. How did it go?
It was quiet.
It's always better coming from Madison than going.
With no Vitel coming back. He's the new mayor of Madison.
What does that mean?
Well, you need a point blank, right? Basically the point break, the flash point for when something's gonna pop off. If that's where the veil's the thinnest, where do you think they're gonna pull him from?
Of course, he'll be right there for it.
You think Madison's gonna be ground zero?
Oh yeah. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think they tried in other places of disaster. But I think Madison, that's ground zero. Matthew's dying, for the record. I had my suspicions last time, and this time he looked infinitely worse for wear. And he's got a story to tell. And I'm not a very good listener, because Arcadia is dying. That place, that he seems to believe, I told him, I gave him the TLDR, the quick and dirty. And he thinks that they're using Arcadia as a bridge between the Abyss and our place.
Yeah, we had kind of figured that.
Makes sense.
Well, Arcadia's dying, and they're drawing at straws, hanging on to thin strings to make sure that this place stays together. And, well, when you throw your lot in with that, Arcadia dying, so is his power. He's not human anymore. That means, remember, you talked about the wolves, right? The wolves over there. You said that they were withering, they were dying.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's all of them, except for her, that redheaded wench.
I don't understand why she's okay with this whole place dying.
Who cares about a house when you're still alive?
I guess, but where does that leave her?
Anywhere she wants to be.
As the survivor.
That's right. But, oh shit.
Did you just have a revelation, Ollie?
I don't know how we do it. Matthew said that all the others are working to try to keep Arcadia alive. All the others.
What others?
The other Fae.
The other Fae are trying to keep Arcadia alive, except her. She's just letting it in.
Is she just like the evil one and the rest of them are actually like good?
No, I don't think any of them are good. But I think the enemy of my enemy is potentially my friend.
We have to deal with more Fae?
How do we even?
You know, I'm gonna be real honest. The Fae have never once done anything.
Not a fucking thing for us.
Not a fucking thing. Nothing. Nothing.
Literally nothing.
All I'm suggesting, I'm not trying to make friends here, as much as I'm trying to say that they're probably busy with their world falling apart. If they haven't figured out who it is yet, they're trying to do everything in their power to keep it together. Which means that we probably won't see any more of them. And that's okay. I'm totally okay with that. I don't want any more of that hoodoo over here. But that just means that she's running out of friends too. Unless they're all on her side. Which I doubt it, because it sounds like not everybody wants to leave home.
So what are we gonna do?
Fuck if I know. We gotta get to Jackson. We gotta pull some sort of play, because this magic trick, our point blank flashpoint ground zero in Madison, the rabbit's gonna come out the ass of Vitel real soon.
Yeah, they're they're making moves. Sooner than I had thought. I guess just kind of sitting here doing our thing here in Chicago, not realizing that the gears are still ever in motion for Bella and Sybil.
Do we, like, in game, I'm curious, just as a mechanics question, are we aware of what blood potency actually functions like, or do we just call it old blood?
Old blood. Thickening of the blood, that kind of thing. The thicker your blood, the more powerful you are. Blah, blah, blah.
So is there a way that we can recognize, because we've speculated outside of game that she wants to potentially pilot Ava's body, but by doing so, that would drop her blood potency?
She would just take over the body.
She would take over the body.
The body would just be hers. And
but the hunger wouldn't be
herself.
the same, right? It wouldn't be like a 6,000-year-old craving. It would be...
Honestly, that's a question I don't know off the top of my head, and I don't have my books on me, so I don't know.
I just wonder, because if we still think that she's going to try to jump ship from her ancient body to Ava's body, does that maintain the hunger?
The Methuselah's thirst?
Yeah. If it doesn't necessarily slake, but slows the thirst, then that just makes way more sense. You don't have to go for premium anymore. You can go for unleaded.
I think it does off the top of my head, but I can't verify right now because I don't have my book.
Look, either way, Vitel is pulling something nasty from the abyss. When she wakes up, she's going to have to do something real bad. She's probably going to have to take some of that, we guessed, speculatively, fairy blood. Even Matthew mentioned that. He asked if we knew what happened when our kind drank fairy blood. He said it drives them mad. But Matthew's been wrong before. What if it just drives us mad? But not someone as old as her. Because she's already fucked. She's already gone. She could be playing this Moriarty bullshit where she's playing 4D chess constantly, but it doesn't matter because she's already actually mentally corrupt and gone and fractured. I mean, look, she's literally relying on licks. We're still neonates. We're babies, and she's relying on us.
She's definitely...
Not anymore, she's not.
She still uses us.
Not anymore, she doesn't.
At least she still uses me.
She still uses Ava. It's because I think she's liking the new model. You got some updated features. You got nice leather reclining seats. It's going to be easy. She can jump ship from something that's old, decayed, and withered into something that's new, potentially even removing some of that Methuselah thirst, or whatever they call it.
She would lose some of her gen, so her hunger would go down. She would not be as hungry.
Either way, I don't think that there was anything wrong with us calling in Jackson. I think it was probably our best play. And I think now he has to uproot some of his venture tendencies because there's some things that are going to be moving much faster than I think he's prepared for.
I wonder if this news of Vitel becoming mayor will make the rounds around the Primogen, or if that's something that'll be more under wraps. I imagine that it'll be talked about.
I bet it's just a declaration of control. Just like, we got this area. It's now known. This is our area.
Yep.
But now Vitel gets that area.
When Bella lost control. Well, when things were out of control. The last time. Right before she seated Jackson. I heard what he said. He told Bella what she needs right now is stability. What better way to do it than to claim a new piece of territory? Take Madison that has been problematic. Fix it. We know that Zach was going back and forth for whatever reason, talking to the Fae for her. I suspect a secret contract to fuck over her sheriff was not a great idea. Put somebody else in there that's gonna do it instead. Set the place up for success. Seat a new council member. Things are looking good for Bella. Again, possibly. I think she would totally share.
I guess so. We do need to talk to Jackson about this, and figure out what our next steps are. Now that this has happened.
Do we let Jackson in on anything else that we're working? Do I let him know about Mr. Pink? Do we start laying cards out on the table?
I don't have any more cards. I'm out of cards. I don't have any to lay out. What do we have to play in this?
We have everything to gain. And at this point, short of our lives, we've got nothing to lose.
There are a lot worse things than losing your life, Ollie.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. By the way, it's getting late.
Yeah, it's enough talk for tonight.
And everybody will retire for the evening. Rouse check the following evening.
I gotta feed, y'all. I didn't feed before we went to Madison. There's just not been any time. There's a problem. Okay, whew. Dakota feeds. First thing when she gets up.
What's everybody's hunger at?
3.
2. 2. Who wants to feed? Okay. You want to make me, if you want to feed within your territory, you may make me that roll early within this evening.
Four.
I mean, yeah, you feed. Feed down to 1?
All the way down to 1.
Okay, sounds good.
2 points of hunger.
I realized that we had quite a bit of political talk the night before, but I do need to meet with the group again to have some additional political
And I was supposed to say, and I didn't go, by the painted lady either. Oh, this is gonna be great.
He wasn't there, don't worry. I promise. I'm not going to do you dirty like that. You all stayed at the movie theater this night as it was rather late. So as you rouse for the evening, bumping into Dakota and Ollie is almost instant.
I feel like I should give you guys some more updates on what's been happening, as I've been meeting with the prince quite a bit, more than I want to. I know we had quite a bit of political talk last night, and I know there's been a lot going on, but I think we should get down to business again. And I need to tell you guys about my meeting with Bella the night before everything went down with Rowan. That night, she invited me right before the panic of my father. Bella was not looking great, actually. Bella was a bit of a mess after all the stuff that happened with the twins and her looking bad in front of all of the kindred of Chicago. However, the sandwich, on the other hand, I think the sandwich knows something's up. I think they're trying to keep me loyal. Bella says she trusts me, but it's more of a blind trust. She can't actually watch me the way she used to. But I think she knows something's up. Just can't put her finger on it. I also met the new Malkavian Primogen. A nice guy. His name is Sun.
Can I get an intelligence politics roll for both of you? Even if you have no die, I need a roll.
He, took the time to greet me. That was
That's all it takes to win.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got 1.
1. 0. Dakota, you've heard the name during your hound days a couple of times, but nothing notable or bad or good. Just you've heard the name Sun and stuck with you because it's a weird name.
Well, that was very fast.
It was fast. And Bella she is in the process of trying to figure out the status of the Primogen Council. Now that Jackson's seated, now that Sun is about to be seated. She also was thinking of reorganizing the Primogen, rearranging, moving people in and out.
Okay.
Dakota. She asked me about adding a La Sombra to the council, a La Sombra Primogen, to replace Molly and remove the gangrel from the Primogen.
Okay.
Do you need a Fury Frenzy check? Does Dakota need it?
Dakota.
It's Rosa, not Molly. But yeah. Fury Frenzy for me. Fury Frenzy check for me. I need to know.
To replace Rosa.
It's only, it would be considered a slight, and it would simply be, I'm looking for, we'll see what you roll here.
Hang on, sorry, I gotta fill this in.
It's willpower plus 1/3 your humanity.
1/3 of my Oh, that's bad. So
yeah, it's almost like having low humanity is bad for a multitude of reasons.
I just needed to break the news.
Okay, I rolled a 3.
Okay, you're fine. You 3 is plenty to withstand. There's a moment where there's that, it feels like that heartbeat, that one hard thump, the beast at the rattling of your rib cage, and you could ride it, but you swallow it.
Okay.
You probably, both of you notice, are just tense up for a moment.
And who's this La Sombra Primogen?
I have no idea who she wants. She asked me my thoughts on it. I told her that she should keep a gangrel. But I don't think my opinion really holds weight. She mostly asked just to see if it would rattle something in me. And I bet she knows that I was going to tell you.
Of course she did.
She's doing it to rattle you.
I know she is.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Working.
It's not working. She's like you're digging a hole into your leather gloves with your sharp claws. It's not working.
I knew if I'm glad I didn't tell you this earlier. I knew when I told you this that it was not going to be good. But just know that she's making moves with the Primogen, moving things around.
Does it truly? Oh yeah, go ahead, please, Ollie. Looked like Ollie was going to say something. No.
Just kind of watching Dakota. At this point, it's her reaction is going to develop his next reaction.
I don't know that Dakota has any reaction, but
pure
palpable anger.
Yeah, I was gonna say just that pure silence.
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. She wants to tell you this great story about little Otai and blah 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 and chosen trust and blah blah blah. But the fact of the fucking matter is, Bella wouldn't know it if it slapped her in her pretty face. Her nor that fucking Methuselah.
When Dakota says this, wits awareness Ollie, but Ava, give me. We'll see what you Ollie rolls first.
Can I willpower?
How many do you have to reroll?
A bunch.
Then you may.
So slash hard 2d10. So 2 successes.
Two successes is all I need. Because Ava, as she's bringing this up, you're actually reminded of your tattoo session and the thoughts of that false choice that was presented before you. That time that Bella brought Cammy in front of you, and you even reach up to your tattoo. And as you reach your arm up, and you maybe even lift your sleeve a little bit, that's when Ollie catches a glimpse of something new on Ava's arm. It looks bright and colorful. Definitely a tattoo of a sort.
What is that? You
Look,
get
I
some
got.
ink?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the two of you got some. I couldn't not.
Does
I
anyone
just-
leave?
Yeah, I would lift it up and show you. It's still kind of new, but it's for Cammy.
And as she lifts her little short sleeve, what you see is a crown at first. A crown that's been aged and withered, has gems along the outside, but one of the gem places is actually missing the gem completely, like fallen out and long forgotten. Little rust on the outside edges. And through the center, thorny vines crawl across the outside of the crown, and they meet in the center and they intertwine to form one singular rose.
Oh. That's bizarrely fitting.
I thought so too.
It looks good. It looks good on you.
Thanks. I know the two of you got tattoos, and it's like weird for kindred to get them, and I think it's more a reflection thing than it is just a piece of art. And the first person I thought of, and if I had to think about what regrets I have, the biggest regret I have is what I did to Cammy. And the only reason I did it was for survival.
Echoing,
You know,
the sentence Dakota was just saying about these choices and how they're not really choices.
you don't have to have a reason. I know that you did what you did because you wanted to, but you ain't gotta have a reason, right? Like, it's your canvas. Put what you want on it. Everybody says different things. Yeah, it's gotta have a purpose, gotta mean something. Yeah, like it could just be a moment. But it's yours. And luckily enough, she said you can take it back. If you're unhappy with it, she can remove it. It's nice. It's not something that we ever got. Like, he pulls up his sleeve showing the work that he got as a human. Yeah, I can't get this removed. This is forever. This is a stupid time in my life. Little hood rat getting street ink. But the other work that I got, by Dakota's hand, that's forever. And even once we cleanse the palate, we remove this issue in Chicago. And I'm someone's pawn. I'll be played by someone. That's all right. We're all playing a game. As long as it means something to you, hold on to it. So what's on the agenda for tonight, ladies?
There's probably a train car, waiting for my fist, and then I have to go to, the Painted Lady, actually. Later. I'll be back later. Dakota, burst open the front door.
As soon as you burst open the front door, you actually startle a young woman on the other side as she, oh God, oh goodness. And as you walk by, all right, Miss Rain? Miss Rain? And then she actually looks into the front door. Was it Mr. Hopkins? And she waves. My apologies. You were looking to speak with Mr. Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
He apologizes for not being able to meet with you yesterday evening as his schedule was quite full, but he has some time this evening that he'd like to offer you if you'd like to meet with him.
Yes. Yeah, that's ideal.
Well, he's free. She kind of pulls up her wrist, and you see like an iWatch or Apple Watch on her wrist, and she's like, well, he'll be free in approximately an hour and a half. If you'd be willing to get ready, I can send a ride over here to pick you up and any of your coterie.
Yeah.
Join you, Ollie.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be back in an hour. I don't know how well dressed I'm gonna be, but I promise I'll be back in an hour and a half.
She's like, may I step in and make a few calls?
Of course.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your hospitality. And she steps in and pulls out a cell phone and starts making calls. Does Dakota spin back around and come back?
I mean, like, if she calls me by name, then she knows who I am. So
yeah, she knows the coterie. She was given the coterie's name. So you would have heard that whole thing. It was for Mr. Jackson and whatnot. So I don't know what Dakota would do from that point on.
I mean, is he calling for all of us, or did he call for Ollie?
It was a coterie-wide invitation. Ollie put in the word, but she's saying everybody is welcome to come see Mr. Jackson.
Dakota squeezes out a smile, like trying to push rocks through a hole that's far too small, and she drags her fingernails down the brick outside of the building just because she needs to, and then she gets in the car in silence.
So you brood for a while. An hour and a half will eventually pass. A car will pull up, and you'll be taken over to Mr. Jackson's office this time around. An office building somewhere near the heart of Chicago. Maybe a new office building set up for his Primogen work or not. Who knows? But you're brought to an office building downtown to the 17th floor, where you're brought to a back office, small little area where Mr. Jackson, as you're brought in, is having the place completely redecorated. Even as you're walking through the halls, the whole floor is being completely redone. People are working through the night, rearranging tables and redecorating. And as you walk into his office, it's got a big desk actually being seated inside. He kind of is guiding them and says there, and then once they're done, he ushers them out, catches your eyes, and ushers you all in and asks you to shut the door behind him. Behind you all. And as you do so, some lights go on, giving a nice warm orange kind of dim lighting within here, much like a study would. He sits down behind his new desk and he runs his gloved hands over it and then pats it once. Says, maybe a bit overkill, but I do like it. What do you think?
It's fitting. It's fitting.
He taps his fingers and runs both of his fingers over it.
For many reasons, it's fitting.
Well, you reached out, Mr. Hopkins, and as always, it's a pleasure to see the three of you. How can I assist you this evening?
We needed to keep you updated on some of the things that were happening. For a myriad of reasons. I'm not sure if you've had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Vitale.
Mr. Vitale, the new venture ruling over in Madison on Bella's behalf, no?
Yeah.
It travels quickly.
Yes, this was all run by the council before. I believe it was you, Ava, who was assigned the task.
I was. It was completed last night.
I'm glad things went smoothly.
This is a safe place to speak.
When you say that, he actually sits back. As safe as I can imagine.
As safe as that room.
Are you free in an hour?
I'll make the time.
I'd love to get drinks.
Drinks sound great.
It's a little shop right next to a tech store. They have a great selection of drinks for us to imbibe. I'll meet you
Mai
there.
Tais. Yeah, let's go there.
He just kind of holds his hand up. I'll meet you there. I have other things to finish here. You all file out quietly and make your way back downstairs and drive your way over to the little tech shop. This time now knowing where it is as he gives you directions. Is there a conversation in the car the three of you have?
No, Ava will try to talk to Dakota, but knowing Dakota just being kind of not talkative, she'll just kind of let it be. But
Look, we don't have to linger on this. We can just get him the information and tell him that we got to make a move sooner before later.
yeah, I guess we'll just tell him what needs to be said and then move on from there. You're right. We don't have to linger on this right now. There's a lot going on. We just need to get him this information and he'll take it from there, I guess.
So then we wait.
Yeah.
Time rolls on. You eventually see his car pull up. He steps out with one of his own personal security, and they make their way into the tech shop. You give it a little bit more time before you yourself make your way in, and there the personal security is standing in the back. He ushers you down the little hatch door into the little concrete basement of this place where Mr. Vitale has all the lights lit No corner has a shadow cast.
Jackson.
Yeah, who did I say?
Vital.
Oh, all right, my
No
bad.
worries.
Mr. Jackson has not a corner, not a shadow in this room. As you make your way down the stairs, he turns to you. Safe now.
Well, let's move as quick as we can on this, because I know that you've got lots of night ahead of you, and we would like to do things as well. So we're going to give you the long and the short. After the last time we met, we discussed things regarding a particular individual resting on Chicago. We have reason to believe that some of their motive might lie in Mr. Vitel. He's not what we believe is immediately a Ventru. I can't say that I honestly haven't met a Ventru that actively goes out of their way to breathe. Sure, he goes out of his way to look real good, but it's not hard. You can polish a turd, but at the end of the day, it's still a turd. In this situation, I think that Mr. Vitel is, according to what Ava has said, is a door. He's a hole. A black hole.
As you kind of put this on the table, his very serious look turns to that of confusion. He stands upright and looks to you. Hell of a accusation. And also doesn't make much sense, so context, please.
Ava.
Madison.
Yes, there's been trouble out that way in the past 2 years.
Trouble. More trouble than what's let on. There's a certain part of Madison where the veil is very thin, leading to the abyss.
Specify, define veil, Miss Eloise.
The La Sombra, they work with the shadows. They work with the abyss. You need to get there. How do they tap into those powers? How do they get to the abyss? There's an area known as Arcadia. That is kind of the bridgeway between here and the abyss. And Madison is the easiest place to get there.
What is this Arcadia?
It's Neverland. It's where fairies come from.
There are creatures there that are beyond kindred.
And you were to say that Mr. Vitel is a hole that leads to Arcadia?
Let's just lay it all out on the table. You can ask how we got to this conclusion, but this is what we've come to. Vitel is a pawn for the Methuselah under the city. Vitel is more than just a pawn. He's a personal vengeance ploy, at least in what we've gathered. She wants to seek revenge on what we believe is her sire. Her sire is trapped in the abyss, or the Shadowlands, or whatever hell name you want to call it. You're going to use Vitel to pull it through with the help of Arcadia and the Fae. And then she's either going to kill him or she's going to eat him when she puts him into Vitel's body. That's the long and short.
May I ask how you're so certain of this rather wild tale?
We've seen it, parts of it firsthand.
Can you show me any part of this?
Everyone that has seen part of it and has had an opportunity to speak outside of us is dead. Crowley, Zach,
Saito.
Even Camille was in on this.
It's not that I don't believe you.
It's just hard to swallow.
A bit.
Now we get it. I get it too. I didn't believe it either.
So what does placing Vitel, if he is indeed what you tell me he is, in Madison do? Is it because that is where you believe, as you said, Ava, the layer between our world and Arcadia, was it is thinnest?
I assume this is how things will start to get into motion for our dear friend that sleeps. This is how...
May I, not to be rude and to cut you off. While we all have our suspicions, or some of us have our suspicions, can I ask how you discovered about what sleeps under the city, if your proclamations are correct?
Well, you can thank Saito for that. He helped a lot.
Saito, with sense of an anarch, correct?
Yeah. He's a lot more than an anarch. He was fairly close to some of us. He was a problem for many, a lover to some, looking to Ava. But that came and went, as fleeting as it may be. Saito was plenty of things, but if one thing was for certain, he was connected to knowledge, and he sought it at every cost, including his life. The reason that we know about what sleeps under the city is because it has a personal vested interest in Ava herself. And Saito, on his last dying breath, he severed a chain, at least from what we've gathered, or at least that's what Ava guesses. And now, she got no control over her. You ever wondered why particularly Ava gets so many private meetings with Bella?
Bella does enjoy a good one-on-one.
She does.
With certain people.
She's not exactly riveted by my company.
I apologize. This is quite a lot to swallow as you...
It is.
It's like 13 to 15 years worth of build-up.
I'm
And we're squeezing
sorry.
into 10 minutes.
It's hard to explain this all in a very, all of the things.
Why have you never gone to the sheriff?
You want the cliff notes on that one?
Ava laughs at that.
That's Ava and Zach's fault. They made a deal with the fairy to help remove some of the reputation of the sheriff.
May I just insert that I am highly, highly, highly disappointed with all of your sires.
That makes two of us.
To be meddling with creatures and magics that are dangerous and unknowables.
I never wanted to be there in the first place.
Didn't exactly have a whole lot of choice.
It is
Norris's death was a presiding completely beyond our control. That's what spitballed this whole thing into motion.
I see. I apologize for cutting you off, Mr. Hopkins. It's just questions are popping into my head as you speak. You may continue.
Imagine this will happen for a while.
And so this you discovered the elder sleeping beneath the city. How again?
Well, we were put into a coterie about 1 billion years ago. And in that coterie, we discovered, more or less, that we have no idea how we were connected. Zach and Ava were brother and sister. Dakota was dropped off in this city, and I was forcefully brought here. I was a goal from Rudy, Nas. That's actually La Sombra. He pulled a favor and had my sire me, and he didn't want me. Why I was brought into this, we didn't know. Why Zach was brought into it, we didn't know. Why Ava was brought into it, we didn't know, and the same for Dakota.
Is it possible that your involvement doesn't actually matter in the end?
But somehow we managed to seat a Methuselah as Prince of Chicago. Our involvement is a lot less tepid than you make it out to be, Mr. Jackson. I think there's a reason that we were called the Loud Ones, and we carried a reputation with us everywhere, and somehow we didn't die. We made it out, because we had some fucked up shadow following us everywhere that we've been. And sure, this sounds like a conspiracy theory, I get it. I know how it sounds, I'm saying it out loud, and I know how it sounds. But you brought us thus far. And you can start unraveling these things yourself. But why on earth would a prominent venture come from DC to here to settle in some no-name ass town where the abyss is leaking through? Just ask yourself that. I'll sit here and wait.
I would need to confirm these things. This abyss leaking through this.
Speak to a Malkavian.
However.
Speak to a Malk. Oh, also, I'm sure you got your sources. I hand him a leaf. Here's my card.
Kind of just plucks it gingerly from your fingertips, and you kind of looks it. And this is what?
That's from Arcadia. It's a leaf from Arcadia. Sure, it looks like it's autumn and it's browning, but those blackened roots, that's Arcadia swallowing the abyss.
There's a lot I need to look into here. You spew quite a lot of information all at once that would change the very nature of this city as I understand it, if it's true.
Mr. Jackson, it's literally Gehenna on our doorstep, an eternal night, waiting to be.
I do not play with the idea of these myths like Gehenna.
I do not either, because none of it makes sense, and none of the older bloods want to talk about anything about it. There's no education in our youth at all except for how to survive. But we spend our entire human lives growing up with history and looking at the mockery and the murder that it is. But now that we're kindred, we're only supposed to know how to exist day to day. We're given no history at all, except for how to operate as our clan alone.
And then when something actually serious happens, none of us know what to do.
We try to sweep it under the rug, as if it's just another thing.
Well,
I realize this is a lot, and obviously understandable that you need to simmer over this. We just needed to tell you sooner rather than later that the bottom line is, things are moving in motion. This move of Vitel, this is showing that things are moving, and we need to act.
Just don't be surprised when you hear that Madison is grounds for something nuclear. Something bad. Because even I don't have a grander scale or idea of how it even operates.
you believe in myths, then?
I don't believe in anything until I see it or feel it, and I definitely didn't believe in vampires until I was one.
Fair point. But even amongst kindred kind, plenty of stories and myths grasping at straws, trying to explain away our existence exist. Not all of them can be true.
Sure.
If it's true that there is an Elder One sleeping underneath our very streets, why hasn't the call pulled her? Or pulled them, I shouldn't say her.
It's hard to pull someone that's in torpor, right?
Is it, though? See, we're not quite sure how it works. Few elders seem to feel it, a few others don't. At least not right away. Sometimes they feel it later. If she's
We
truly
gave them a book. Bella a book. Many years ago, when all this first started. Zach did. Traded
Zach,
it.
that's right, the book.
What was it called?
The Book of the Grave War.
It exists.
Not only does it exist,
Mr. Heloise was in possession of the Book of the Grave War.
courtesy
He
of
was.
his sire.
Courtesy of his sire, in which he traded, if I remember correctly, to
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Insane. You did us all a favor when you dusted him that day, trust me.
Yeah, well, I wish everybody felt that way, Jackson.
Well, not everybody has the same loyalties, I suppose.
You should have seen the work he was doing.
A Book of the Grave War, you're telling me was a thing. That existed and you held on to it physically.
Here in Chicago.
Traded to Vanessa. Zach made a copy.
Vanessa's involved too. The names on this list keep growing.
Well, you better pack a lunch.
If this is all true, then why didn't you go to anybody earlier?
Who do we turn to?
Their lives were threatened.
We told Cammy and she died.
Instantly.
Anybody we turn to, they die. Saito died.
And you're just hoping I don't, then?
No, we're hoping that you have some sense of logic and that you actually might hold on to kindred lifestyle because last I checked, You don't want to die. You actually have managed to flourish where many others have floundered, and I can admire that.
Should I not know you, I would have considered that a threat, Mr. Hopkins.
Good thing you know me then, because I'm not threatening. I'm here as an ally.
I'm aware. It's a lot to take in.
Rudy's in on it, if you didn't know.
That's the least surprising.
Snitch. Snitch knows.
No, I adjust my answer. That's the least surprising.
Snitch knows because he said that it was anything for the Nos to thrive and survive. And he thought that throwing in with this lot particularly meant that the Nos would have a fighting chance.
I'll have words with I'll have words with my friend Snitch. What he says is true. If he believed it was the right call, and so that was his choice. I'll speak with him when I have enough information in my back pocket to approach, though. Not a moment sooner. I will have to make sure everything you're telling me is to some degree reliable. I take this with just your words because our past dealings have been fruitful for both of us. And much like before, I suppose. In many ways, I wouldn't be sitting on the Persuasion Council without some of your support.
Jackson, Mr. Jackson, we've been dealing with this problem for over 10 years now.
15. Ollie Hopkins.
15 years.
And it's an understatement to say we've made a lot of mistakes along the way in trying to figure this out.
But the three of you still stand in front of me. The others you used to travel with cannot say the same. So you must have done something right.
Or we didn't do enough.
Maybe that's the only thing to keep you alive. Sometimes inaction is the best action. There's that guilt I see on your faces.
I just had to bury someone very close to me.
My apologies. From your old life, or this one.
Yes. That's all. Yes.
My condolences, but I truly hope it also frees you a little. Yeah, as Ollie kind of just clearly kind of just bites his lip and keeps to himself. He takes that sign and drops this, the subject. I have many things to take care of then. I'll send someone to Madison soon. Have eyes and ears there for myself. This Malkavian you wish me to speak with.
The Witch of the Yards. Good luck getting much out of her unless you come bearing a favor and a gift.
I am aware of the Witch of the Yards, and dealing with her nonsense is not something I rather do.
Yeah, well, there are occasionally, from time to time, some actual answers in the mixed brew and stew of what they spit.
Well, now she answers to a primogen. I'll ensure she knows that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Where are you going to take the leaf? You going to go to the Chantry?
No, I haven't decided, honestly. I'll think on that. Not unless I bring it to somebody I trust. Perhaps Cretius.
Well, if there's any way that we can be of further use, please don't hesitate to reach out, just because we understand your position, but you can be a bit more difficult to reach out to than not.
Now that you mention it, he actually reaches into his back pocket and he pulls out a small burner phone, just a singular one, and he actually walks past you, Ollie, and heads over to Dakota. He actually just kind of holds this in front of you without a word.
I take it like it might explode.
That's not going to hurt you, Dakota. I'm not as averse to technology as the others.
I don't... I'm not very technology savvy.
When it rings, say hello. I have a job for you in the next few days, if you don't mind. One of mine will give you a call when it comes to, but as you've made clear to me, there has been an opening, a few openings within the Houndship. I'd like you to form me, as you have some repertoire with the prince, to escort Damien over the next few days. Again, you'll get a call when time. I'd like to present him as an option for Hound to Miss Bella. That does mean you would have to stand in front of Bella, and I understand your history is tumultuous. But this would be not for her, but for me. I, of course, would pay you for the deed. I have word that a gangrel's made its way into Chicago the past couple of nights. I could perhaps set a meeting up for the two of you, if you were willing to do this for me.
Sure.
It's appreciated. We'll have a call, and like I said, in the next few nights, and Damien, just take him to the Ivory Tower, present him to Bella, and leave.
You should know. The sheriff. He is compromised.
I believe you made that clear to me last time, but now the picture is a bit more full. I trust you. And he kind of just claps your shoulder with his right hand and then steps back. I appreciate everything. This information, even if a fraction of it is true, changes the landscape of the city. This will take a lot of time. Thank you. Is there anything else anybody wants to ask for or say? Or I forgot to answer in case it was just like lost to the role play?
Nope.
You step out. The private security guard still standing out there. You all make your way to your vehicle. And you leave. He stays behind, leaves after you. The ride back is... No, go, please. I was gonna say.
We, at least I probably look like an idiot. At least until any of this comes to fruition.
Oh, you don't look like an idiot. Just because somebody doesn't understand something or believe it doesn't mean you're an idiot.
It's a lot. All at once. But I think he'll understand in time.
I just hope it's enough time.
Me too.
And silence settles within the car. Everybody makes their way back to the movie theater, and there's kind of a silent milling among you. Things are in their place. People are sent in their directions, and there seems to be a lot of a waiting game involved from this point on. The Witch of the Yards, you have more leaves perhaps to bring to her. Jackson's sent in the right direction. Vitel is placed in his town of Madison. And while there's still plenty that needs to be done, I'm curious on this particular night, is there anything else the coterie would like to do?
Ollie, you have how many of those leaves do you have?
Just a handful, like maybe 4 or 5.
Do you think if I took one of those to the Witch of the Yards, she would accept it as a offering?
Well,
in order to do something for me?
I think she's already got an interest in as much of this she can get her hands on. And I imagine that she probably went to the last one pretty quickly. More of it's going to be beneficial. But last time we went under the guise that she owed us nothing for it because we're trying to build that bridge. You can take them. I don't know what you're going to ask for. Not that I need you to, but she might be expecting these to come similarly.
I need to do something about my father. He's still around.
He's at Ollie's bar. Ollie doesn't even know that yet.
I asked Grant if he could watch my father for a few days during the day.
Oh,
He's why oh no? He's been doing great.
Look, Grant's a good guy, but he's an addict, and your father is an addict too, right? You're having an addict watch another addict. Oh my God.
I think that I thought Grant was like good to help him. He hasn't been drinking, so he wants to come clean and turn his life around and be with me more and try to get me out of my second life. I need him to forget everything that's happened this past week. I need somebody with strong powers to help him forget. And I need to send him back home, and he needs to move on thinking I don't exist.
Look, the best thing you can do is have him get knocked the fuck out like it was some sort of an accident, and him wake up and think it was just that, an accident, like he was in a coma or something.
And it was all just a bad dream. He saw his daughter using powers, and he got kidnapped by some kid, and
Bad dream is a lot more explainable. And if he wakes up and from what we guess, right, his ear's gone, right? Then they tell him his fucking ear was removed in a crash. Get him some scrapes on his face like something happened, and I don't know, this is my area of expertise, but
I could do that. I guess that's also an option.
it's just easier to swallow. And it's a lot less of a favor, especially if we can remain hidden. I mean, you were wiped, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you've been masked.
I'm
So it
dead.
looks like you're dead.
He is missing his ear, though.
His ear and his fingers.
An accident.
Just so happened to... An accident that so happened to remove his fingers and his ear. And he remembers what happened. If he starts telling people... I was also thinking maybe I could send him to a rehabilitation center, because he does have an alcohol problem. Just keep him there. I just don't know how much of his stories people will begin to believe and look into.
You can send him to rehab, but they're going to want to know why he's missing his fingers and his ear.
I still think I need to wipe him and then send him and just...
Sure.
I think that's what I need to do.
Ollie will produce the leaves and give them over.
Thank
I don't
you.
know if it's going to be enough, but it's at least going to pique her interest.
Worth a shot. Thank you. And that's what I need to take care of for this night.
That's it. And anybody else need to take care of anything?
Dakota probably beats a train car into a tin can and then has to go to
Okay.
the painted lady.
When you're beating on the train car, maybe 10 minutes in, where you're probably just screaming and throwing dents into the nearby one, kind of over it all, you eventually hear a familiar voice. Hey, shut the fuck up!
You shut the fuck up!
As like you're shouting back at them, you see Molly.
My train car! It's my train yard!
Your car, you're bringing attention!
And she like rips open the side of this metal train car.
Yeah, we can hear and see sparks as like metal peels back. And she just kind of stands there looking at you defiantly. You fucking better now? What the hell's your fucking problem?
Nothing.
You told me I can stay here and keep safe, and then you're out here throwing a tantrum like a 5-year-old.
Hey! Don't judge me, because I need to take out a little fucking aggression. At least it wasn't on you.
How about you just go and do it somewhere where you're not keeping an anarch that could fucking get her head ripped off by your own kind? Sucks to be fucking wrong, doesn't it?
Fine.
what the fuck are you doing out here? And she do that.
I'm leaving is what I'm doing. Isn't that what you want?
Oh my God, I want you to stop being a toddler.
Well, I want you to stop being a bitch, but we can't always get what we want.
Then can I leave Chicago?
Yeah, you can go.
Oh, you don't need me anymore. Oh, I see all your plans have fallen apart already.
Are you done?
Are you?
Yes.
How about you fucking tell me what the hell's going on? You're asking me to stay. Listen, I am one of you, motherfucker. I'm staying here because you tell me there's potential fucking hope for our kind in this goddamn city.
Well, so I was wrong.
I told that, sweetheart, the first time you talked to me, but what made you realize you're wrong now?
Nothing.
That's bullshit, and I know it. If it's all so fucking shit to fuck, why don't you leave with me then, huh?
Because I'm not done yet.
Oh, you got a hero fucking complex?
No. I got a vengeance fucking complex.
Oh, girl, get it out. You got... there'd be so many fucking people that you're gonna want to kill because they did something wrong to you. You can't do it to every single one of them.
But I can do it to these two.
They here?
In the city? Fuck yeah, they are.
What's stopping you from going to rip their heads off now and then bouncing with me in a couple hours? I'll fucking
because
help
their
you.
names are Prince and Sheriff.
Wait a minute. And your goal before you leave Chicago is to kill the leadership and a right-hand hound mutt dog? Why don't you fucking come with me? We could go run a small town. You and me, the whole town to ourselves.
I came from a fucking small town.
But
I
now
rode trains through every small town in this country.
So let's go pick one and run it.
I'm working on getting you safe, whatever, out of this city. When you're gone, do me a favor. I'm sure as you're running small towns, you're gonna come across some other gangrel. I'm holding a gather in Chicago.
You? Okay.
Again, I didn't fucking stutter. I'm holding a gather in 6 months. Let him know.
All right, sure, sister. Whatever you say. Gather in 6 months right here in Chicago.
You want a beer?
Wait. And what's the plan when you kill the prince, by the way?
I'll sleep easy. I don't know. Maybe I'll strip my clothes and run naked down the streets. I could do anything I wanted if that bitch was dead.
You know, if you just went to another city, you could still be a cam hound.
Yeah, but Bella still draws breath. And the sheriff, he still maintains a position he doesn't deserve.
I've seen so many of our kind die because of this shit.
Maybe. But I'm not like anybody you've ever met.
Of course not. Of course not. Yeah, 6 months. Gather any gangrel I see. I'll do you that favor. But if they show up and you're not here and you're dead, I feel like the prince is going to be too happy and you might just be sending a bunch of gangrel to their deaths.
I'll be here. Right now, I'm just looking for a way in for them. Just like you need a way out.
She kind of uncrosses her arms. Well, if I'm not stuck here no more, can I leave tonight?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Good luck with your whole unity thing.
Yeah. Good luck with that small town thing.
Don't need luck. Just need one good ghoul or two.
Yeah.
And she turns her back and she just starts marching in the opposite direction. From the train yard, where do you go?
To the Painted Lady. I said I'd be there every night this week.
And as you walk in, there Rat Tail waits. As you he kind of ripples into existence as you make your way down the stairs into that metallic crosswalk heading into the club itself.
I didn't.
And he looks, he's like, "Hey!"
I didn't bring anybody for you to convince to date. I'm sorry.
Motherfucker. I was hoping I'd see her by now. Well, He just kind of steps out of the way and gives it a nod. Have a good fucking time.
Yeah, always do.
Good. And he, as you walk past him, you see him out of the corner of your eye just kind of ripple out of existence again. You swing the door open and you're greeted with that loud music. Wits awareness as you make your way down the stairs.
I really do not need a sheriff here tonight.
Oh, we'll see.
That would be just for everybody to know.
Does Mathis want to do a Scottish accent is the question today.
Fucking thing that I need is a sheriff here tonight. Two.
As you make your way down the stairs and you're scanning, you probably start looking at the door, seeing if there's anybody over by the door where Edith is, and you start looking down into the main area. You don't see McTavish out the gate. You're actually kind of milling through the crowd. And just as you're about to step off that last stair, giving one last look around, over by the hall that leads into the tattoo parlors, breaking away from the crowd, you see a familiar-looking bald head, accompanied by what looks to be a tattoo artist on his left-hand side.
Okay.
Do you want a fury check? Would you fury?
I would not do that here. This is why I went to the
No, that's not how fury works.
Yeah, I know.
You don't get to choose where. Is this something under any other circumstance, if she saw the sheriff, she would have to make a fury check.
Yeah.
And I need you to make me a fury check.
Wait, okay. I wonder if it just wants my full humanity, if it does the math. We're gonna find out. Oh, I do not need this tonight. Come on. Come on, roll 20. Come on, roll 20. You can do it. It didn't roll it. Okay.
That's fine.
Just try
The
again.
longer it takes, the safer you are for now.
Oh, wait, there it goes. 3.
Hey!
3.
You do not.
No, I got a crit. A 5.
Do not fury frenzy. You see as the back of his head, and for a minute, you're like, oh, I could fucking do it now. You hold it, you swab.
What I wouldn't give to drive a tattooed needle straight through his eye socket. Just right. Okay. It's fine. I'm not here for him. I tell myself. Dakota walks down the stairs. I'm not here for him. I'm not here for him. Edith just said to chill, and if he was here, he would talk to me. So I am going to go peel all the labels.
Okay. You do so. Time passes. A couple hours, and then at the 3-hour mark, he arrives outside, not McTavish, the sheriff, stands outside the tattoo room and is about to leave again, where he gets an opportunity to actually catch eyes with you.
Good. I want him to.
We'll see if it happens.
I want him to.
I know you do. I'm not in the game. Sorry, I thought I was.
Oh, I hope he loses his shit.
Well, he's got to see you first. It's busy. He's going to have a penalty to it, and he's not exactly... He's kind of just in a lot of pain right now. I got to make another roll. Okay, hang on. He gets a -2. Oh, fuck. All right, buddy.
This is his problem. I'm just peeling labels off beers. I'm allowed to be here.
Fury frenzy.
Oh, he passed. Oh my God, he rolled 2 successes. Oh my God. Woo! There's a moment. You know you catch eyes. You both look at each other for a minute, and he continues to walk as you stare.
I smile.
As you smile, it's when his gaze lingers for a moment, and then as he makes his way to the stairwell, just where he'd have to stop to turn to face you to keep looking or keep walking, he keeps walking, and he breaks his sight from you, and he goes up the stairs, and he goes to leave the club. How was Dakota feeling in that moment?
I imagine that we see her claws like digging into the wooden bar top, just like, I hate everything and everyone tonight. Dakota hates everyone.
Now you start to sound like a real gangrel. You really are.
Everybody sucks. Everybody sucks so much. Dakota gets up and like snatches up this full beer. She storms out and probably like smashes it against a brick wall for the shits and giggles of it.
You leave out, yeah. You smash the bottle.
I want to know if that motherfucker's on a motorcycle. Or did
Oh, you follow him out?
Yeah, I just want to I want to see if I can catch the tail end of him. Did he? Is he on a motorcycle, or did I burn them all?
So you make your way up the stairs. You follow him,
Crack a bottle.
kind of hoping to hear. And what you actually see is him not entering a motorcycle. You see him entering an old, like, what's the name? I want to, before I say the name of the car, I'm going to look it up because I'm picturing one. Just want to make sure I have it.
It's not a Crown Vic, is it?
No.
I think it's Crown Vic. Ha ha.
Oh.
He actually gets into a 1981 yellow VW Bug. Covered in
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh my God!
He gets into a I don't know what year this is. It looks like the 70s. Let's call it like a 74 Ford Thunderbird.
That's, oh my God.
I just simply laugh to myself and cackle under my breath.
And do you head back down to the bar after that and just wait it out?
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna wait it out until it's all like. Again, I may have to go out back and scrape some brick off a wall with my fingernails.
Yeah, that's fine. You
to
crash
feel
out
better.
brick, you dust a lot of concrete. And on this particular night, McTavish does not show himself.
Of course he doesn't. Dakota angry skateboards back across the city to her boat.
Back to the boat. The dogs are waiting for you at the top. And
It's not Wednesday, so she can't get a tat tonight. So yeah, she will just go back.
No, you're just going to go back and everybody kind of settles in for the evening. Kind of like last week, the next things that I want to do, the next two major things, both the job for Mr. Jackson, followed by McTavish, are a lot of things that are going to take a lot of time. So I think on this night, even though it's like 18 minutes earlier than normal, I'm going to fade to black.
Am I able to take care of the thing with my dad, or do we want to role play that out, or do we
want to role play that out because there's a thing with Artie that you're going to be walking into that I would
okay
a scene with Artie, your father, and Grant.
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
Artie's been around, and now he's got somebody new to talk to. So yeah, all that is like some stuff I want to take care of on a longer time. So we're gonna end a little early. We're gonna go to the after show. I apologize, everybody, but I hope that's okay with the viewers as well, as I'd rather not fill 15 minutes with just useless stuff. So if you're there, Maggie, I'm going to hand it to you.
Awesome possum. Well, we shall see what happens in the after show. If you'd like to get access to the after show, you can support us at patreon.com/rollforward, where you can get access to not only our after shows, but all kinds of goodies out there. For instance, today we have up on our Patreon the Ascension character sheets for Half Grim High Climber and the Librarian, as well as our monthly recap for January. We also have an after show coming up here for Ascension, as well as our MP3s. So if you're interested in those, check those out. Also, you can submit questions over for our GM interview with Sheepdog. And if you're interested in watching, we did put one out with Mathis a while ago. Maybe we need to do an updated one after this series is over.
Wasn't that before season 2? Like before season 2 started? Yeah, it's been a while. Oh, by the way,
I like doing them at the end of the season so you can kind of...
This was episode 50 of season 2.
Happy 50!
We had 50. We've got 80 episodes all told.
80 episodes of VTM. Nuts. Congratulations, everybody.
Longest campaign.
Milestone.
I've never heard of anybody else running a VTM game longer than like 25 to 30 sessions.
80
and this is just season 2.
Yeah, we got.
Season 1 also had like 20 something, 30, almost 30 episodes.
It was 30 exactly.
30,
30 on the dot.
So, yeah, altogether a lot. And of course, if you would like to become a legend tier or above, you get to be a supporter for an episode. And today's supporter is Jofu. Let's get some real love in chat for Jofu. Thank you so much for supporting all of these lovely people, as well as, the stories that we're telling here. And not only do you get to support the episode, you also get to play in a privately GM'd game by one of our lovely cast members. Last month was Dot and Miss Magitech. So, you can get some behind the scenes, also fun goodies, and a privately GM'd game. Lots of fun stuff over there. You can also support us right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/rollforward, where you can become a subscriber to get access to our videos in advance, before anybody else sees them right after the show. Or you can get access to our emotes. You can also get access to these emotes if you head on over to our YouTube channel, where we upload all of our videos after roughly 24 hours. So if you can wait, you can also get them over there. And of course, if you are a patron, a Twitch subscriber, or a YouTube member, you can get access to our Discord, our private Discord, where you can chat with us behind the scenes as well. And we have a lot of amazing people in that community. They also run games and things of that sort too. So come hang out with us. It's good times. And of course, if you can't support us in a monetary means, we completely understand. We want you guys to take care of yourselves first. So, just being here, watching our shows, sharing it with other people, interacting with us on social media, following us on Roll4 on Twitter and Facebook, and commenting and sharing and liking and retweeting, that goes a really, really long way for us. And without further ado, we're going to wrap things up by letting all of our lovely cast members kind of give a little shout out and plug to what they do, because they are amazing and they do other amazing things, not only on Roll4, but in other spaces. So we'll actually kick it off with our storyteller today. Mathis Games, what are you up to when you are not, becoming mayor, apparently?
Yeah, making myself the mayor. I am Mathis. You can find me everywhere. Chilluminati Podcast is my weekly kind of paranormal comedy podcast that I do. If you want more vampire, we just launched season 2 of Stitch of Fate. It just came out the other day. It's a podcast audio show. Go watch it, especially if you watch season 1 and you're curious where the cliffhanger is going to lead you into season 2. It's well worth the watch. Mathis Games for all my video gaming content, and here every Saturday for World of Darkness, Vampire Wonderfulness. That's me.
And moving on from Mathis, we have Ava Heloise, played by Miss Magitech. What are you doing when you're not maybe thinking about Diablo-rising somebody else? I don't know.
Cammy still remember. Maggie still remembers.
I'll never forget.
Never forget. Hi, everybody. I'm Tracy, also known as Miss Magitech. And you can find me everywhere on the internet as Miss Magitech, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. YouTube. I do make YouTube videos on occasion, so feel free to follow me there. I play tabletop stuff all over the internet. So if you follow me, you'll see when I'm going live. I play throughout the week, VTM, obviously Cyberpunk Red, I play a lot of that, Pathfinder, D&D. So if you're into any of that, feel free to give me a follow and hang out. So yeah, I guess that's me.
So and moving on, we have Ollie Hopkins, played by the Bubbernot. What are you up to when you're not being traumatized by Mathis?
Mostly therapy at this point, courtesy of this game. No, I'm kidding. I'm seeking out lots of other things, guys. You can find me over on twitch.tv/thebubbernot, where I play a variety of games. Like right now, we're checking out Valheim and Green Hell and Journey to a Savage Planet. I'm constantly telling tabletop stories like Haunting of Harrowstone on Tuesday nights. Maggie's actually a part of that. This coming Tuesday will be episode 3, and it's been a lot of fun. So if you like your spooky D&D experiences, come pop on over. Wednesday nights, we got Shackled City that's closing in on 200 episodes. I am with Stitch of Fate and some of this crew here, which just kicked off this past Friday. Episode 2 will be coming out next Friday. Yep. And I'm playing a Mr. Duke Fremond, the most strange Ventru that you may encounter in your days. And I'm always here on Saturdays, hopefully, for as long as they'll have me.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have Dakota Rain, played by Little Red Dot.
Hi, friends.
What do you do when you're not trying to control your frenzying?
I'm a dot, around and about, a little red dot. I play games and roll dice with a lot of cool people, including these folks, as we mentioned with Stitch of Fate. But I do a lot of producing of tabletop games, so you can check me over at Kobold Press right now as their head Twitch producer. We're doing a lot of really cool new stuff. And then, I self-produce on my channel when time and funds allow. So the best thing to do is just follow me so you can make sure you know where I'm at.
Awesome. Thank you all. And so with that, we are going to go record our after show. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. And we will see you next week for another episode of Silence of Shadows.
Bye, guys.
Bye.